series win over the Rangers with that 5-2 win yesterday. Next up, they're going to open one more series here at home, this one against the A's. Emerson Hancock on the mound for a 6:40 p.m. first pitch. Pregame show at 5:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports. Some contract news around the NFL this morning. The Cowboys are making Brandon Aubrey the league's highest paid kicker. He becomes the first in NFL history to earn $7 million per year.
Snapshot brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
On Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now.
I feel like it would not be right to start the show without saying, Bump, congratulations. First of all, you let Curtis and I know calling into the show on Friday at 1 p.m. unannounced, catching Matt off guard. And Matt, I'm told that you told Bump, what do you want? What did he say?
It's like, Bump. He texted me essentially why are you texting me?
And you said, I have news to share.
And I said, man, do we have an interview at 1 o'clock? He goes, no. I go, hey, put me through. It was like, okay.
I was allowed to be confused.
Ever
by
the
that.
skeptic.
Matt was, yes, ever the skeptic, not happy for you at all. And might I say, Curtis and I elated with the news that you shared with us, which was...
Your boy got his first hole-in-one,
Let's
baby.
go.
Wow.
On a golf trip I paid way too much money for, so...
It's amazing.
I bet I'd done something right
I didn't
that week.
send you screenshots of the text line, but I will let you know that a lot of listeners were very excited for you.
So I appreciate y'all.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So we were all really happy for you.
I haven't felt like that since scoring a touchdown in the NFL. That's how hyped up I was. And
Wow.
mind you, my right knee has been bothering me for a month
Sparking.
now.
Where would you rank? So you have 3 children. Where would you rank the birth of your 3 children, NFL touchdown and hole-in-one? Like, in what category do those
Come
5 things?
Come on.
The hole-in-one.
Birth of my children. Come on, man. Don't try to set me up for the okie doke. What? Well, yeah, it was fun.
This is now top 5. So it's birth of the children, 1, 2, 3, and they're all really grouped there.
Yeah.
And then it's NFL touchdown, hole-in-one.
Then hole-in-one. Yeah, for sure.
Everything else is after, but those things are all
was
incredible.
good.
We're really happy for you.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Did you, I know you were on a golf trip. Did you get to catch, probably not a ton of Friday's game, which was fine. You didn't miss much.
I listened. I'm on the course. I'm in, for all my golfers out there, Gamble Sands, about 3.5 hours east of here. You're isolated. It's nothing but 3 courses, lodging, one restaurant, and 100 men out there just
golfing.
chasing scores all day. So I listened a lot. I didn't watch a lot. I was listening.
And that's fine, because it ended up that the day that you got to celebrate and that you got great news was the Mariners' only loss of the series, which is to say the Mariners won the series, and that's great news, winning their 2nd series of the year. This one against the Rangers, and the Rangers are looking kind of solid to start the year, so that may end up coming in handy a little bit later that you managed to get those 2 wins. Not even up the season series, but still massively important. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we loved, and what we disliked from this series victory over the Rangers. Bump, what's something that you liked?
I was kind of fooled at first. Like I said, I listened to a lot of this series. Obviously, on the golf course, chasing my dreams of becoming a pro, not going to happen. And so I listen, and I'm in and out, right? Hit the ball, come back to the car, hear Riz and on all the guys and stuff, and then afterwards check the box scores. And at the end of the series, I'm looking at Randy. I go, oh, man, Randy had himself a decent series. Then I saw 10 Ks. I'm like, oh, dang.
Just ignore that.
He did, but he didn't at the same time.
Yeah.
Didn't really produce till the end of that series. Dom has been hitting the ball hard. I had to look up his numbers. He has a 47% hard hit rate. That's the 2nd best on the team right now, behind Luke at 52%. So I like seeing those 2 names pop up.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, I want to see Cal. Of course, I want to see Julio. Randy and Josh and all that good stuff. But we all know that for this team to go far, the pitching has to be on point, and you got to sprinkle in some of these other names. Luke, you ain't been sprinkling in. He's a main ingredient at this point of the season. So, Luke, you keep it up, Ken Zone, get the sprinkles in. So, it was nice to listen, and then look at the box scores, try to piece the game together, and see some names that I know need to help. But when we get to the dislike, I'm sure we'll be on the same page.
Okay, so very loud contact on Sunday. And then, like you said, Raleigh continuing to kind of be a main ingredient. I agree with you. I loved continuing to see that. I also liked, I know the platoon bats haven't been phenomenal. That being said, I do have kind of like this level of empathy that everyone ends up getting, where after a while you're complaining on the one hand, and then the other side you go, okay, well now I kind of want someone to get a hit. I feel horrible for these guys. So Refsnyder, first home run.
Rob Refsnyder will lead things off with a swing and a drive deep to left field, going and going. Goodbye baseball. Rob Refsnyder, his first base hit in a Mariners uniform, pumping his fist in the air, rounding second, is a home run to straightaway left field. That's the way to get off the schneid. Rob Refsnyder with a leadoff home run on the very first pitch from Mackenzie Gore, and it gives the Mariners a 1-0 lead as Refsnyder parks that pitch into the Ranger bullpen.
Look, it's not going to make or break the Mariners season, but if we're just filing away stuff that we did like seeing in this series, I liked seeing Rob Refsnyder get his first home run of the year. And for that matter, even though Randy's striking out, I liked seeing his guitar celebration with the trident with Julio. Those are two things I liked seeing.
Rob needed that one, man.
He did.
Rob needed that. So, yes, happy for him. I like the enthusiasm he has for the game, rounding second. When you see, and no disrespect to Rob, when you see him in the lineup, you just don't feel as confident as you would if you see other guys in the lineup. There was a lineup, I forget what day it was, they put out, and I looked at it and I go, okay, we're rolling with this squad this week. I think it was against Mitch was
yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday. And I'm like, all right, well, we're rolling with this squad today. Let's see if you get something out of it. So when you get production out of a guy that you're not really expecting, that's great. And really just for him, for his mental. My man has had a rough start to this season, right? His first hit as a Mariner. He goes yard. Good for Rob.
I mentioned Randy's 2-run bomb, really liking that as well. Let's go to what we loved. It's important that these are two separate categories. It's one thing to see Refsnyder get his first home run and feel really happy for him and like seeing that. It's another thing to see what Woo is doing.
Here comes the 1-1. Swung on line, drive center field. Julio racing back, showing his numbers. He's at the track, reaches up, makes the catch. Julio reels it in, and that's it for the Rangers in the 6th inning. Brian Woo continues to dominate, 6 scoreless against the Texas Rangers at T-Mobile Park.
A phenomenal start for Brian Woo. Yet another one. I'm loving his start to the season.
I mean, Woo has established himself as one of the best in the game. I think we knew that last year, but it's nice to see him come out and have the start to the season that he had. 7 innings, 4 hits, 2 earned, and walked 1 and set down 6. He's starting to give me that confidence that Castillo gave me when he first got here. When he's on the mound, you feel like anything is possible. You're probably going to win this ball game. Castillo still does it for me sometimes, but he's slipped up a bit. No, but Brian's in his zone, and like most of the pitchers on our team, I love their demeanor. They're never too high, never too low. I think Kirby might be the one who shows the most frustration that time. I think.
Yeah.
He gets a little hot, but hey, that's his East Coast personality. If it works for you, it works for you. You go ahead and do it. No, but Brian, he's just he's throwing that junk. And for him to put together another quality start, I think the Mariners are first in the league right now with quality starts with 13 of them things. Good to see.
Yeah, even if Kirby does have some emotion, and he does, still one run allowed on Saturday. Solid start. Didn't obviously get through as much. 7 hits allowed, 5 2/3 innings. But your starting pitching, as frustrating as this year has been, I know I wanted to focus on just this series, as frustrating as the start to the season has been, if I were to file half the month of April, love, dislike, pitching would be under love. Starting pitching, I have loved to start the year. It hasn't been perfect. You've had frustrations. Castillo is kind of running into some issues here. But it's so much better than where you were at this time last year, where you didn't even have Kirby up here, where eventually you ended up losing Logan for a good chunk of the season. You didn't yet know that Woo would be a star and do so much. So it's just they are starting with a nice head start when it comes to the rotation. Let's get to what we disliked.
Oh, are we going to me?
Yeah.
I think we're on the same page with this one with Cal. It just doesn't look like Cal is comfortable in the box. It looks like he's just throwing his hands out there and praying that he makes some type of contact. And I'm no swing doctor.
What a job.
Your boy couldn't hit a curveball. It was fastballs or nothing for me. But as an analyst and as a person who deals with athletes at my facility for the last, 10 to 12 years and watching the game and all this stuff and talking to the baseball nerds and savants that I know, it just seems like there's no confidence in his swing. It seems like he's chasing a lot right now, and the contact that he does make are like little bloopers. It's like me trying to hit him. I played in this wiffle ball league one time, just one game. It's this wiffle ball league that's in Woodinville. And, man, I would barely make contact, and I'd be so happy with that. Just clip the ball, and I'm like,
little bloop single.
Just give me something. That's what I feel where he is mentally right now, where he is just chasing. He's just hoping. He doesn't have the same stance and confidence that he once had. I forgot who I was talking to. It's my buddy. His name's Todd. I played with him at Desert Canyon on Thursday. And he's a baseball guy. Played at San Diego State, pitched there. And what he described to me was that Cal is more, and you baseball guys, you let me know what you think about this, okay? He said, in his stance, Cal is a bit more hunched over. He said last year he was looking at all of his ABs. He's a bit more upright. He said it allows him to really load his body up, sink into it, and get his hands through it a bit more easily. So I went back and I'm looking at it, I go, all right, well, I can see what my guy Todd is talking about. So you baseball nerds, you let me know what you think. But me personally, just looking at him, just the confident and the recognition of pitches just isn't there right now.
Curtis, what do you see, by the way? And not to bring you in here, I know that you're working also, but we were all talking about this during the break. We're going to get back to Cal at 10:45, so I don't mean to burn the topic too much, but just what are you seeing from Cal? Because he also fell under something that you disliked from this series.
Yeah, it just kind of looks like he's swinging at everything in order to cut down on the strikeouts, which then leads to bad swing decisions and weak contact. The contact part itself, I mean, that is a huge concern, especially considering, and we'll get to this coming up at 10:45, looking at his numbers, 2025 compared to 2026, but like he has not been hitting the ball hard at all. His only hit in the series was a routine pop-up that fell in because there was miscommunication between second base and right field. Like, it was not a great series from him. Mariners did manage to win the series, but it was not because of any offensive contribution from Cal.
Yeah. Again, we'll talk about this coming up at 10:45. It's just about Cal at 10:45 and one stat in particular that's catching our eye. But there's so much riding on him and his success. And there are times when you kind of feel like, man, am I really like bagging on this one guy? I feel kind of bad for the start he's having. But there are like two players that matter a ton when it comes to this offense. It's Julio and Cal. Unfortunately for Cal, Julio's had a slow start and then proved to be an all-star. So I think people are a lot more tolerant and understanding of a Julio slow start. Cal became a superstar last year in a way that he wasn't, certainly outside of Seattle. And with an offense that's lacking power and you're like the power hitting guy that they have, it's felt and seen in a very different way. So we'll talk about that coming up at 10:45, including, could it change? What might change? Are their stats trending in the right direction? Let's go to one more thing that we dislike from this series because it's something I'm going to be watching closely in this series against the A's. That 7-1 lead going away in the top of the ninth Saturday. Look, you ended up winning 7-3. It's fine. I have not felt this nervous about the bullpen in a minute.
Yeah, it's been a while. There's really just like one or two guys, honestly. Wilcox kind of gives me the shakes a little bit when he's out there. And listen, Munoz did during the Padres, I guess, series, but you always feel like he's going to figure it out. He's one of the best in the game. He has, 2 saves this year, I believe. You got Brash, who you feel like, even if he comes out a little shaky, he's going to figure it out because they have money in the bank. It's the other guys, and you're going to need them. You're going to need them. There's going to be days where, Logan or someone in the rotation doesn't have that day, and they go 4 innings, and they're pulled, and you're going to have to depend on that bullpen. So, yeah, the bullpen has shown me at times the guys that I can trust, the familiar names, and I'm like, all right, him, Spire, I think had a good inning of 1 hit, set down 2, I believe.
Yeah, he got out of it.
Yeah, so it's like the guys that we're used to, even if they struggle a little bit, you feel like they're going to be fine.
Yeah.
But then you throw on the others, and you start to worry a bit. So I'm with you there.
So again, coming up a bit later in the show, we'll talk about some stuff we're watching in this series. Coming up at 10:45, we'll get back to that stat with Cal. Coming up at 11, Jason Churchill. We'll ask him about Cal, but then there's a lot to talk about with this team. And we'll get to the Seahawks in the draft. We are days away from round 1 of the NFL draft. Coming up at noon, Bump's 5 prospects that he loves for Seattle. It doesn't have to just be at pick 32, just guys that he would love to see in a Seahawks uniform. He's going to tell us what we need to know. Right now, let's get to Headline Rewrites.
Extra, extra, real
Headline Rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Bengals sent the number 10 pick in the draft to the Giants for defensive tackle Dexter Lawrence. What's the real headline?
Man, think of what this Bengals defense would look like if they also added someone like Trey Hendrickson.
That'd be nice.
Think if they had someone like that.
They probably couldn't afford
defense.
Dexter if they had Trey, though. So you had to make some decisions. What they get sent over a number 10 pick overall for Dexter Lawrence. Listen, it shows their quarterback that they're trying to make this defense better. You bring over Boye Mafe. Now you have Dexter Lawrence, who's a run stopper. We know that the Bengals were just horrible against the run last year. Yes, you let Trey go, but maybe they're thinking he's already seen his better days. He's on the down, I guess, the descent of his career. I don't know what conversations they're having with their quarterback. But look, the Bengals are trying. You couldn't afford both of these guys. Hopefully, I forgot what they got for Trey Hendrickson. But
For the Bengals?
Yeah.
He was a free agent.
Oh, absolutely nothing then.
Well, because there was so much talk forever and ever and ever about a trade.
But he's 32 years old, right? 32, 33 years old. He put together a decent season last year. He was banged up a bit. The year before that, he was amazing. He's such in a gray area. I kind of understand why they would kind of let him walk. Dexter is too, though, because he's like 28. You know, he's probably only have about 3 or 4 more solid years in him. But look, they're saying, look, we couldn't get our guy Trey. We brought over a D tackle who was an all-pro type of dude. You bring over an edge rusher that could be a guy. I think Boye Mafe is still developing. They're trying. The Bengals are saying, look, we are trying, but I like that headline.
You want to know a wild stat I saw from this one from Adam Schefter is just how infrequently the Bengals have made any kind of deal like this. That it was the first. Did someone say this and I completely blanked because I was trying not to forget it? The first time the Bengals haven't had their first round pick since 1989.
89.
That was 45 years ago.
Dang.
It was not before anyone jumps on me. It was a long time ago though. So I mean, Bengals not a super aggressive franchise in terms of dealing those. In terms of much of anything, they don't make a lot of midseason trades. They don't make a ton of trades anyway. So I think they recognize that, like, Joe Burrow can be fleeting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, we aren't always going to have the best of him and Jamar. If we didn't, we need to take advantage of this.
Headline Rewrites.
Headline number 2, Adam Schefter reports this morning the Eagles are expected to trade A.J. Brown to the Patriots after June 1st. What's the real headline?
Wonder where Schefter got that intel from.
Dang.
I think we need to start questioning everyone. I think we need to start questioning everybody. If we're gonna play this game, I saw Kay Adams posted out like a couple weeks ago. She would love to see Dexter Lawrence on the Bengals, and then of course people think it's funny to. Well, how'd you learn that, Kay? I think we need to start questioning everyone.
I wonder, does Diana Rossini just hand over her contacts to somebody else in the industry? Just like, here you go.
Yeah.
Here's who I was working with. So what's funny is that like producers who have gone on to go elsewhere in the biz or have left the biz.
Go to producer heaven.
Yeah, exactly. I've gotten a lot of their contacts previously. So that's kind of how I've built out my Rolodex over the years, where it's like, oh, I didn't know you had this number. Can I have that? Sure, I'm not doing this anymore.
Yeah, here you go.
Yeah, it's great.
Matt is losing it over producer heaven.
I don't think there's actually a producer heaven. I think
Gone to the
there's
control
the other
producer
way.
hell.
Yeah.
Goes to the control room in the sky.
Oh no, another windowless building.
What's next? I'm sorry.
You guys want some football announcements?
No.
Oh, we're just talking producer stuff.
We're just talking connections.
I totally forgot we do have
I'm Michael. I like sports and I talk football.
Analyst on the show. Bump, a massive move
when we
here.
need you, we'll let you know. All right?
We'll let you know. I think we've got it handled when it comes to football analysis. No, Bump, AJ Brown to the Patriots after two.
Look, I know your name's on the show, but we got bits to rattle off.
It's not like it's the first name on the show. Bump.
Oh, he's a good football player, guys.
Yeah, there you go.
He's a real good football player. So I hope it works out.
There we go.
Let me tell you what. When he's out there running his Gertis, help me out here.
Routes
is when he's
his
in
route tree.
His route tree.
Kind of like a ficus.
Yeah, it's I always like to say that it's really like toxic to dogs. Make sure they don't eat it.
Yeah.
That's what I always say. The route ficus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Very leafy.
Headline.
There's 6 different out routes.
Clearly.
Headline 3. NFL Network reports the Steelers still have not heard from Aaron Rodgers about his 2026 plans, and they don't expect a final decision prior to this week's draft. What's the real headline?
Pittsburgh hasn't heard from Aaron Rodgers. They really are like family.
That was a good one.
Good one. That's Curtis.
I mean, he does what he wants to do. And you can look at it 2 ways. You could be upset with Aaron Rodgers and say he's arrogant and he's about himself, and you're probably not wrong. But then you can also say, my man is 40-something years of age, and he's going to take his time to make his decision. And if I'm Pittsburgh, I'm giving him a hard day. Like, look, this is it. If we don't hear from you by then, we have to move forward with our organization. We have some things to do. But no, I'm not surprised that they haven't communicated. I think I read somewhere that Aaron's upset that he hasn't received like an offer yet, but you have to let them know that you're interested before they actually offer you something. So you got to communicate, and he's not doing that.
I mean, are any of us seriously doubting, in all honesty, that Aaron Rodgers is with the Steelers in, I was going to say in 2026, this year? Like, I don't see anything else happening. I think it's this little song and dance where you have to bend the knee, flatter his ego, make him feel important. He gets to skip out on, being part of the program right now and have the offseason he wants, and still gets to play. Like, I don't see him not playing.
He has all the leverage in the situation, and he knows it. They need him. He doesn't need them. What draft? They have the 21st pick in the draft. If he does not go back to the Steelers, they got to be looking at Ty Simpson and hoping that he drops. I don't see anybody in front of them that desperately needs a quarterback. Indianapolis traded their pick to the Jets. They're good over there. Maybe they just sit back and wait for Ty.
Man, the Steelers are an interesting team for me because so many of the pieces that they added last year were all in on like, we're going to just roll the dice and see how far we could possibly get. And now it's like, well, what now?
Yeah.
You've got most of the same pieces.
Mm-hmm.
Are you going to try to take the same approach where you're not like an elite team, but you've got lots of short-term options and some older players? Very weird. But now a new head coach.
And a weird spot over there
really
in
weird
Pittsburgh.
Spot.
New head coach, no quarterback, receiver core is okay. Yeah.
Bump does know about football, so much so that in addition to having a show, coming up at noon, we've got Bump's 5 guys. We're just going to call them Bumps guys. You are profiling 5 prospects. Are these all for 32, or did you just look around and go like, I love this dude. I don't know when they're going to get him, but like, this is a cool fit.
It's just a cool fit. Who knows if they're going to be there or if the Hawks are going to grab them. Just open up your mind.
Guys that make sense.
Yeah.
Bumps guys. That's coming up at noon. And so throughout the day, we'll obviously be like looking at everything else, right? And this is what's coming up next. That's what we're going to kind of take. So rather than an approach to here are the 5 fits that absolutely make sense, we're going to look at some unconventional paths they could take. That's next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Help keep our community safe and healthy during National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day, April 25th. Find a collection site near you at DEATakeback.com. Do your part to lower overdose deaths and prevent drug misuse before it starts.
If you're building decks in Washington this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite decking, railing, and accessories contractors depend on across the Northwest. With reliable job site delivery, we keep your projects moving so you can keep building. Right now, get 20% off deck railing and lighting with any TimberTech or Trex deck board purchase for a limited time only at Par. Visit par.com/decking to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here, and working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years, and you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months, plus mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here, so go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
Running a small business means juggling a lot. Your network has to handle it all. That's where a fiber-only provider falls short. You need a partner who gives you a greater advantage. Introducing the Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A first-ever combination of the largest, fastest fiber-powered network, the most reliable Wi-Fi, gig speeds with equipment and security included, and a 5-year price lock. Plus, it's all backed by a 30-day money-back guarantee. The Total Solutions Advantage only from Comcast Business. A new standard for small business with reliability, security, and savings in one. Switch today. Get started with a great offer as low as $60 a month. When you add it all up, no one does business like Comcast Business.
Offer ends 6/1/26. New customers only. Requires 300 megabits per second internet and security edge. 1-year agreement, eco-bill, and autopay required. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA Fixed Broadband Experience Report, May 2025.
How was your break? It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code THRIVE25 for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code THRIVE25 for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's THRIVE25.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Mariners and A's tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week, and our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
If you don't care about saving 50% off your wireless bill for the same 5G coverage the big guys are charging a fortune for, maybe you care about keeping jobs in America. Pure Talk does. They've pledged to run their entire operation from this country, including all their customer service. Or maybe you care about our nation's veterans. Pure Talk does. They've donated hundreds of thousands of dollars to America's Warrior Partnership, a fantastic organization working hard to prevent veteran suicide. Or maybe you care about closing America's skills gap. Pure Talk does. They're a proud supporter of MicroWorks. They're helping my foundation train the next generation of skilled workers. Don't get me wrong. Saving money's great, and you'll save plenty with Pure Talk. But if you want to be in business with people who share your values, dial pound 250, say micro, and switch to an American wireless company that actually stands for something. Pure Talk.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Matt, did I tell you I have a new personality? Well,
oh boy,
you know how,
what's it this week?
Well, so you know how I wouldn't say, you guys make it seem as though I switch between personalities. What it is I find new hobbies and interests. So my personality was drinking water regularly. Then my personality
for like
was
5 minutes.
Then my personality was bringing my lunch to work. Then my personality
Like
was going on walks and getting steps. Right now, my personality, acai bowls. They're so good.
It's just getting more and more basic every time you change.
I was going to say, like, the allegations of
no
basicness.
No one told me about
those
these. This is soft serve ice cream, fruit flavored with fruit on top. It's amazing.
Bomb.
Have you guys heard of this?
Bomb.
No, I mean, I had heard about them, but I did have 3 this weekend. That's no one's business. This draft, almost the Seahawks draft. The draft is just days away this Thursday, and we've got special programming, by the way. Bump and I are splitting up, which I know he's upset about. But
don't know what to do with myself.
I know. Bump and the crew are going to be on actual draft coverage of the rounds, and then Curtis and I, along with Brady Henderson, have some really cool kind of like a pre-draft coverage for you. We are all in on the Seahawks pick at 32. So as part of that, Bump is going to have a profile coming up at noon looking at 5 guys that are a fit. In this segment, I wanted to take a look at like different, slightly unconventional paths, things that we haven't talked about as much. And rather than look at like a specific name, right, because it's like less likely they do this, I thought it would instead be a way for us to prepare about what it means. So it sounds like this. What does it say about the Seahawks if they take an offensive lineman at 32? What does it say?
If they take a lineman at 32, that means that there's a spot on that line that they're not completely confident in. And I think a lot of the people listening, if you watch the games, you can point at a certain player and position. You connect the dots. I ain't going to throw his name out there like that, but it's on the right side. And that means that they're committed to making this group better. They're bringing back everybody. Everyone on that O-line, 13 out of 13 offensive linemen who were with this team last year will be back this year, at least going into OTAs or whatnot. But it means that they're not satisfied with where they're at. That line got better throughout the season. They got better. The running backs got better. The line got better. You combine those two, you get a running game that's effective in the playoffs, even with Zach Charbonnet being out, K9 doing his thing. But it means that there are some things that they don't like about that position and that they feel a young guy can come in and either compete for or just or be the guy. I mean, we saw Gray Zabel come in at left guard and be the dude. Now, he was pick number 18. You expect pick number 18 to be the guy. If they were to pick an O-line at 32, I don't think they necessarily want him to be the guy, but eventually they would want him to be the guy.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, you don't think it's going to happen, but you have to prepare yourself mentally and emotionally for if it does, what does it tell me?
Right.
Because that's really what it needs to be. Like, it's not going to be, you want to do a deep dive into the prospect and think, oh, they must have had him rated so much higher on their board than everyone else. Of course they did. But what does it mean when it's not necessarily a position of need immediately? If they take a running back, no one's shocked. Ken Walker left in free agency. You have, like, guys in that room that could potentially have some breakout years, but no one that gives you a ton of confidence because a lot of them haven't proven it yet, and that's okay. Mm-hmm. But, like, you get it. You absolutely get what it means. They don't have Ken Walker. Well, if they add a guard or a tackle, shoot. Suddenly I'm like, okay, do they have health concerns about Abe Lucas or Charles Cross? If it's a guard, does this mean Anthony Bradford's future is up in the air? It's an interesting conversation to think about. So I just wanted to leave open the possibility of, like, if they go OL at 32, there's some conversations to be had there. How about this one? What if at 32, and I've actually seen this in a mock, what if they go wide receiver?
This is the most intriguing one for me. I may or might not have a receiver as one of my 5 guys coming up. Was at noon we're doing that? Mm-hmm. If they do that, that tells me that maybe they're looking at Horton and saying he's fragile. Totally. We don't know if he's going to be able to make through a season. had ACL surgery with Colorado State. You come here, I believe it was his shins or some lower body type of deal that stopped him from contributing late into the season. And you're looking at maybe a Jake Bubble and saying we love him, but we know that he's like a fourth or fifth guy, special teams type of player. Derek Young is not with the team anymore. And then maybe we have to set up for a future when Cooper Kupp is on his way out. It's kind of like the way they did DK. DK obviously wasn't old, but you could tell that something wasn't right here. The relationship wasn't right. He's on the phone yelling at coordinators. Maybe he didn't develop the way they wanted to. You bring in JSN to get ready for Tyler Lockett to depart and then seeing what's going to happen with DK. That could be the same thing with this receiver, air quotes, that they do draft a receiver at 32, is that we have to prepare because what did Cooper sign, a 3-year deal? It'll be a second year, and then you still have a way out this second year. You got to decide if you want to bring him back or not. So this is preparing for the future. It's not even personal with Cooper Kupp. It's like, look, man, one of the greatest receivers to ever play this game. You helped us win the Super Bowl. You're teaching these guys how to be pros. Now we have to prepare for life without you.
I totally agree. I think that's the right read on it. Unsurprisingly, it doesn't have to mean like, oh, is Cooper Kupp going to retire and we don't know that? It's exactly right. Like JSN, making a move for probably 2027's group. And it happens to be with a guy where you were like, look, we got a first-round grade on this guy. Or like, this is the best player. And yeah, we could go defensive end here, but we think we can get a good edge rusher in the 4th round.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to see a receiver that we have rated this high. You know, maybe it's something like that. I don't know that that's what their board looks like, but I think there is a world where they might do it. Some early mocks had them linked to some receivers before they kind of went mostly all defense or maybe running back.
Yeah.
But I think it's a possibility. There's certainly a willingness to use that first round or early second round pick on a wide receiver. In fact, the last time John Schneider had pick 32, he traded back twice before taking Paul Richardson at 45. Does that mean that's what happens here? No. But they are willing to spend some resources on receiver for sure. So that'll be really curious.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to simplify this next approach. It's not about a position. What's it mean if they trade back from 32?
If they trade back, that tells me that Jadarian Price is not available, so they're not going to go that route. And then it tells me that maybe there was an edge that they wanted or O-line that they wanted. They're not available either. So let's go back and do what the Hawks are known to do, which is find these later draft picks and develop them. I mean, you've had late draft picks come in. Most recent that I can remember that really made a huge impact was Reek Woolen. 5th-round pick or something like that. Starts his rookie season, Pro Bowl type of dude. We all know the skill that he possesses. We all know the shortcomings as well. Every athlete has those. And that's their wheelhouse. And I think with the way that Mike McDonald's brain works combined with John Schneider's, I could see them finding a guy or two later on in the draft. So let's just have more picks.
Mm-hmm.
We didn't get the top dogs that we want, but that doesn't mean we can't get better at certain areas and possibly find a guy to come in and start right now or contribute right now. I think they're comfortable there too. I think the hardest place to be, honestly, and it's a fun place to be when you're an NFL team and a fan, but it's hard. It's early in the draft, like 1 through 10. Because you got to hit. If those don't hit, people are going to look at you and be like, you blew it.
And it
you
better
didn't
be
get
like
the right
a Pro
guy.
Bowler or
Yeah,
bust.
exactly. Exactly. And fans, if he ain't a Pro Bowler or an All-Pro,
Yep.
he is a bust. I'm like, nah, my man's going to play 10 years in this league and be just fine. But the perception of picks 1 through 10, I'll maybe even push it back to like 12, is that you got to hit right now. Different kind of pressure.
Yeah.
It's fun to be there, but I think they feel good picking from later drafts.
What's it mean if the opposite is true? Because I think it could mean, oh, they didn't get a trade partner. Or it could mean that they also thought, well, cool. Like, we like this guy. And I don't think it has to be like, oh, if they trade back, they didn't have a first-round grade. If they picked at 32, they did. Probably not.
No.
But I think if they stay put at 32, it could also be whatever package they might have been able to find from trading back, that guy wasn't going to be there.
Right.
That's what it says to me. Picking at 32 is more of like a, let's say they go with one of the guys you're going to be looking at. They didn't think he'd be there at 40.
Yeah.
They didn't think maybe he wouldn't be there at 39. Right?
Yep.
I think that's what it means to me.
I like that.
Yeah. So those are our 4 approaches that are kind of unconventional. We haven't talked about it a ton, but just like, okay, what if there's an offensive lineman? What if there's a wide receiver? And then what does it mean if they make a pick or don't? So we're going to talk about actual names, actual prospects coming up at noon. Jason Churchill joining us at 11. We got a lot of Mariners questions. And speaking of the Mariners, no one expected Cal to hit 60 bombs this year, and that's perfectly fine. But there is one stat that's concerning. That's next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Happy birthday to Silver Reef Casino Resort. This month marks 24 years, one more year, and they'll be able to rent a car. All jokes aside, Silver Reef Casino Resort is actually pretty new in the grand scheme of things. And if you've been there, you know what to expect. If you haven't, man, get down there this month. They have some celebrations going on all month long to mark 24 years of fun, relaxation, entertainment, and good food. Speaking of good food, my favorite is a steakhouse. Go on and treat yourself. Make a reservation online. Why not make a weekend out of it? It was nice this week. Long days. The sun was out. Go to Loomis Rose Golf Course. It's a hidden gem, one of the best public courses in the entire state. Lastly, remember those celebrations I was talking about? Roads to Riches all month long, capped with on April 25th, where you can win a 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 all-wheel drive. You got great weather. You got golf. You have opportunities to win a Mercedes-Benz. I want one of those. Hop on I-5 exit 260 Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
Everyone's been told the same story about real estate investing. Buy property, deal with tenants, manage construction headaches, and yet Legacy Group Capital, they ignore all of that. Jason Rantz here. Here's what Legacy Group Capital actually does. They lend on real estate. They acquire it, they build it, they develop it, and then they share the profits with investors. It's not complicated. There's no gimmicks. The track record, double-digit returns with zero investor losses. You get the upside of real estate without owning a single piece of it. And right now, Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund, it's offering a fixed 9% rate of return. And yeah, IRAs are accepted. While everyone else is chasing overheated trends, you're locking in a fixed return backed by real assets, managed by real experts. More than 1,300 investors have already put over $350 million to work with Legacy Group Capital. These aren't people who got lucky. They got smart. You can get smart. Call 425-635-4700 or go to legacygroup.com. Don't overcomplicate things. Legacy Group Capital.
The throw to first, and it's in time. Holy smokes, what a play by J.P. Crawford.
At T-Mobile Park, you've always got the best seat in the house. But if you're looking for a truly golden view, look no further than the seats on the first baseline, a.k.a. Trident Town. Post up behind the Mariners dugout, and you get a great view of Logan Gilbert, Brian Wu, and our entire rotation at work.
Swing and a miss. Fastball upstairs, blew it by him, strike three.
Not to mention the best view of the best home run celebration in baseball. When the Trident goes up, you know a party's going down.
And it's gone! Julio!
Mariners baseball. Trident's up.
The Mariners homestand continues this week with 3 straight value games against the A's. Score seats for less than $12 tonight and tomorrow night at 6:40 and Wednesday afternoon at 1:10. Don't miss out. Lock in your seats and check out the complete Mariners value game schedule at mariners.com/value games.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
Mariners and A's tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
A multi-billion-dollar settlement is paying claims for up to 21 years. If you were exposed to weed killers at work or at home, your rights are affected. If you or your family has or had non-Hodgkin lymphoma, you could receive $6,000 to $165,000 or more. This settlement impacts you even if you're not sick, because this blood cancer can take 10 to 15 years to appear. If you stay in the settlement, you give up your right to sue. Learn more at weedkillerclass.com or call 888-403-8201. Paid for by the Roundup Settlement.
What are you doing every day to support your liver?
If you enjoy sweets, fast food, alcohol, or take any medications, that's a vital question to ask. Hi, I'm Sherry Torkas, pharmacist and health author. For over 30 years, I've helped people make informed decisions about their health, especially concerning prevention and long-term wellness. Supporting your liver isn't just a wellness trend, it's a daily essential. That's why I recommend Active Liver by New Nordic. It's made with plant-based ingredients like milk thistle, turmeric, and globe artichoke, herbs clinically studied for their protective and restorative effects on the liver. Active Liver blends traditional herbal wisdom with modern scientific research. Not all supplements are created equal. I trust Active Liver because it's backed by science, meets strict quality standards, and delivers true daily liver support.
Active Liver is available online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com, or you can find it in stores at CVS, Meijer Grocery, Wegmans, and now Active Liver is available at your local GNC.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
This is Bumpin' Stacy.
weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
That Cal doesn't have 30 home runs so far is totally fine. That's impossible. But also, I don't think anyone expected that Cal would repeat the home run production that he has last year. There's a difference, though, between not having that home run production and then, okay, based on the production we're seeing, is there any concern? If Cal was hitting the ball hard and, maybe getting into some bad luck, with balls put in play or not or whatever, you could feel okay. But we focused in on the hard hit percentage bump. This is maybe the single most concerning stat from Cal Raleigh right now. It's not about home run total. It's not about average. It's about him being in the 9th percentile in hard hit percentage, 27.6%. Compared to last year, and I know it's a full season, he was in the 85th percentile, 49.6%. So he's still swinging the bat fast. It's just not making any quality contact.
You know what hard hits do to defenders, like, say, in high school? It turns them into golfers, okay? Because that ball is flying at you at a velocity that you're like, you know what? Nope, I don't want any piece of that. The same way that the Oklahoma drill makes football players into basketball players, right? He's not putting that. This is the majors, right? All these guys count on that stuff. But if you're not hitting the ball hard, you're not giving yourself opportunity. What I'm getting at is that if you're barely making contact with it, there's time for players to get under the ball, to scoop it up, to throw it in first base. There's no real pressure. What you want to do as a batter is force the defense to make a play. Force that shortstop to make that diving play, get up and toss it off his back foot. Force that second baseman to jump up and try to grab it out the air. If you're not hitting the ball hard, you're not putting pressure on these guys. And that's the one thing we need Cal to do, is put pressure on them. Before the break, you and Curtis were talking about fly balls and all that stuff, and I'm sure Curtis could go way deeper into this than I can. So I just looked up Cal Raleigh's fly ball percentage, 46%, right? And you're like, well, if you're hitting the ball at a 46% fly ball rate, then you must not be doing well, at least the way I understand it, right? But then I see Jordan right underneath him at 45%, so then I try to find their hard hit, and obviously Jordan is hitting the ball hard. So you can hit fly balls, but you got to mix it all in. And Cal's just not doing that right now. And like I mentioned earlier, it could be his stance. I had a buddy talk to me about his stance and how he can't get his hands through him. It could be him pressing. Curtis pointed out that he's just not trying to strike out, so he's going to swing at things and try to make contact, which contributes to that weak contact that we're seeing. I just named about 5 or 6 different things that it could be. Imagine what's going on in Cal's head right now. Imagine the battles he's having in his mind. Is it my stance, my hands? Am I chasing? Was it my preparation? Should I not have gone to WBC? I can only imagine the conversations that are going on in Cal's head. And as an athlete, that is all bad. As an athlete, you want your mind to be blank, and you are just reacting to what's going on in front of you. How does he get there is the question.
Exactly. I was going to say, the entire point that I want from this segment is to figure out, okay, what's the number we're talking about? Hard hit percentage. Done. He's 9th percentile hard hit percentage. Is simply not good enough, and it is a drastic drop-off from last year. Second thing we want to figure out is why, and it could be timing. Okay. He's a streaky player, right? All right. Trevor May talked about that, in fact.
I'll be honest. This has been a critique, I think, of them for as long as I can remember, but especially last few years, especially with some successes. The offense can get a little bit anemic at times and streaky. Streaky is the word I like to use because the producers in this lineup tend to be streaky, namely, Cal Raleigh and Julio Rodriguez. When they're hot, they are the best hitters on the game, and when they are cold, they are the opposite. So I think that's something we are seeing.
Cal was in a slump from July leading into August last year. Not all of July, obviously, but by that point, he had already nearly matched Barry Bonds' pre-All-Star break home run total. No one was drastically concerned. Oh, and also Julio was heating up. The Mariners were fighting for first place in the AL West, so you felt okay because you'd seen enough. You haven't seen 2025 Cal yet in 2026. If Cal had a great April and then was slumping and was looking exactly like this in May, you'd go, timing's off.
Right.
Get in the cage. He'll figure it out. Just timing's off. Like he's healthy. The power's there. The timing's off, and he'll figure it out. But you haven't seen that yet. So instead, what you have is, on the one hand, Julio, who can be a streaky player, but has shown that he can get off to a cold start and then heat up and look amazing. And on the other hand, you have Cal, who you're just trying to figure out what version of Cal you're going to get. And unfortunately for Cal, there's just so much more pressure on him compared to last year.
I think that's probably the conversation, is that we haven't started a season with Cal, or obviously with Cal being the guy, and be like, oh man, he's struggling. It's like, oh, he's all right. We understand him. We understand who he is. He's a streaky ball player. He's going to strike out. He's going to hit the ball hard, and he's going to hit bombs. But now you're coming off a season, and then let me reverse. And then with Julio, we know who Julio is. At least we think so now. 5 years in the game, he's going to start off slow, but eventually he'll figure it out. So when you have two players, and one's doing exactly what he's done his whole career, and the other one kind of looking a bit shaky after a huge career, of course there are going to be questions. And then when the offseason changed a bit for that player, and I think it's natural for people to try to find the answers. And if you look at the text lines, you'll see the answers. You'll see not excuses, but reasons why he's not doing it or having the season that he had. And no one really knows what's going on with Cal. Only one that has an idea is Cal himself. And even sometimes at athletes, you don't have the answers. That's why you have trainers and coaches and analysts and people who look at your swing and do all these analytics and stuff. It's just, we know that Cal needs to be Cal for this team to have a chance. Not 60 home run Cal. Mm-hmm. He could be the 34-30 home run, 27 home run Cal. And because we don't see that, that's why people are concerned.
Now, Curtis, Cal's hard hit rate is drastically down to start the season compared to last year. However, his fly ball percentage is roughly the same. He led all of baseball last year in fly ball percentage. Right now, he is first in fly ball percentage again. What can we take from that?
He's getting the ball up, but a lot of them just are, flies out or flyouts to, shallow left field, shallow right field. It's not really, yes, the ball is getting in the air, but it's not leaving the yard. A couple of interesting stats that have popped out to me just in scanning through Cal's numbers. Career, his line drive percentage is 20.9%. This year, it's a career low by a significant margin at just 13.8%. So line drives are, pretty hard hit balls. We're not seeing that. And then his weak contact percentage, usually around about 4% in his career. This year, it's up over 10%. So that is a concern as well. Yeah, his career average 4.1%. This year, it's 10.3% through 20-plus games. To start the 2026 season. Those are two numbers that I look at, and I'm kind of like that. Both of those need to change in a big way, especially not just for the Mariners to have a season similar to what he had last year. Like, I don't think he's going to get close to 60 home runs this year, but even if he had 30, that's not close to 60. But if you can get a Cal Raleigh season that is 30 to 35 home runs, even after a start like this, I think that would be a huge boost in what the Mariners ceiling can be for this season. But ultimately, we've talked about it a lot over the last couple of years. As Cal Raleigh goes, this team is going to go. And as we've seen, he is scuffling, and the Mariners have scuffled out of the gates here. So it is of the utmost importance that Cal gets going.
Okay, we understandably have a lot of questions about the Mariners still. Jason Churchill is joining us. I want to ask him about some of those numbers. We'll table that, and we'll start there when it comes to Cal, and we've got lots of other questions about this team. Jason joins us next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than being cold. And if your house is feeling a bit drafty or the floors of the main level are way too cold on your feet, that's probably because your crawl space and attic don't have enough insulation. It's probably making your furnace work overtime. So now you're spending more money as well. Well, how about a free and easy way to learn if you need better insulation? Just schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic with Crawl Pros. It's exactly what I did. They'll show up to your house. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I didn't want to, and they'll tell you if you got any problems with your crawl space, your attic, and especially your insulation. If they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates as well to help you get that work done correctly and affordably. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost. Make your home more comfortable. Save on your energy bill with Crawl Pros. If you're worried that anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, mold, water, plumbing issues, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
With Popeye's new $6 faves menu, you can get this 3-piece chicken, this 3-piece tenders, this chicken sandwich, or these 2 regular sides for just $6 a piece. I know you can't see what I see, but trust me, those bold Louisiana flavors look so good, you might just have to get them all. Now there's an idea.
Love that chicken from Popeyes.
Limited time at participating U.S. restaurants. Price may vary. Terms apply.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America and a member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Rick Riz here for the Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington's Improve Your Play program. Many of our local youth sports teams need help with field enhancements, training, and equipment. Local Pella owners Keith Dashafy and Luke Wilson are stepping up to donate $5,000 to 2 deserving teams. We need your help finding them. Head to seattlesports.com/play to nominate a deserving team in need. Let's help our local youth improve their play this year with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Contest and rules at seattlesports.com/play.
For over 50 years, Bucky's Complete Auto Repair has been the one locals trust for honest pricing, expert service, and guaranteed repairs. This dedication has earned them a Carfax Preferred designation. At Bucky's, every customer gets detailed Carfax updates, timely service reminders, and a full service history, all at your fingertips. With 16 family-owned locations, no appointment needed, and easy financing, Bucky's makes auto care simple. Visit Bucky's.com today and drive with confidence. Bucky's.com.
The chartered plane to Queen Charlotte Lodge is on the runway, and you're not going to want to miss it. This summer has limited availability for king salmon, halibut, and lingcod fishing in beautiful Haida Gwaii, British Columbia. Queen Charlotte Lodge is absolutely the place to be. A luxury resort and amazing fishing with your buddies, dad, or son. Book your stay at fishqcl.com, and trust me, you do not want to miss it. Queen Charlotte Lodge. Experience fishing first class. And remember, our dollar's worth $1.35 north of the border.
This is a test of your emergency alert system.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With a Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready.
And get ready for the workday.
Let's go.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners got a series win over the Rangers with a 5-2 win yesterday. Next up, they'll open one more series here at home, this one against the A's. Emerson Hancock on the mound for a 6:40 p.m. first pitch. Pregame show at 5:30 p.m. right here on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Don't forget you can download the Seattle Sports app, not just to listen to our shows, but also to listen to Mariners games. Every game, one app, completely free. Did I mention it's free? You can take the game with you on the go when you're out running errands, at Little League practice, maybe on a hike, on the boat, wherever. The Seattle Sports app travels with you so you can enjoy every pitch of Rick Rizz's final season all in one place at no cost. It's the easiest way to enjoy Seattle Mariners baseball. Speaking of Mariners baseball, we're going to keep that conversation moving here. And while we do, I also want to remind people, new series begins tonight. I think last one at home before they hit the road again. This one's going to be 3 against the A's. Emerson Hancock on the mound to start this one. 6:40 p.m. first pitch. You've got a 5:30 p.m. pregame show. You can tune in on Seattle Sports 7:10 a.m. the Seattle Sports app. Bump, I'm concerned about Cal.
I think everyone is. I really do.
Yeah.
Especially when you look at the numbers the way Curtis broke it down about his hard hit. It's concerning. I looked at how many ABs he's had. He's had 88.
I think he leads the team.
88 at-bats. Last year had 596. Obviously, getting to the playoffs, you get a bit more. I'm going to ask Trevor. Right, we got Trevor May coming up. Is there a number?
Jason.
Sorry, Church. My bad, Church. Go Cougs. I'm going to ask Church, is there a number of at-bats to where you know who this team is? I said last week, with the NBA, it's around 23 to 25 games. I'm like, all right, I know who this team is. NFL is like 3 to 4 weeks. You think sometimes teams can get hot, though, but if you're 0 for 3 in the first 3 weeks of the season, you're probably done. Is there a number of at-bats to where you feel like, okay, I know who this player is? Granted, they can get hot. You're going to have hundreds of at-bats during a season, but is there a number where you say, now I'm officially panicking when it comes to this guy?
Most people, like when it rolls around to May, when you see a full month to start. And the thing is, it's still early in May.
That's what most people say. I want to know what Church says.
Sure. But I'm a little concerned now, but we'll certainly be concerned around May. A listener texted in from the 509, with Cal, at some point, do we need to have the conversation that last year was just a fluke? But I think that's why I want to have like the two separate conversations about Cal. One is about just the home run total and slugging percentage to go along with that. And the other is about who Cal is and profiles as a hitter overall over the course of his career with Seattle. Minus, right, like early, you sent back down, come back up. And that is as a guy who, for 2 consecutive seasons entering last year, maybe 3, had at least 30 home runs, led all catchers in home runs. And you're not looking at him to hit for average, but you are looking at him to have some power and some pop. He doesn't have that power and pop right now. So I'm not talking about, Cal's not on pace for 60 home runs. I don't know a single person that thought he would, including Cal Raleigh. I think, though, that what people are looking for is, but does he still have some power? Is he on track for 30? That's a career average year for him. Above average is more the career, totally normal is you are like a 230, 240 hitter, 30 to 35 home runs, and that's great. And that's what this team's counting on him being. And that's an important thing, too. You can afford to not have Dom Canzone be your best hitter. I don't know that you can afford to not have Julio and Cal be your 2 best hitters.
Teams are built around certain players. Cal's one of those dudes. Team ain't built around Canzone. It's not built around Rob. It's not built around Young. There are 4 to 5 players on this team when it comes to the bats, position players that you build this team around. You say, okay, we don't need to go spend extra here because our 4 to 5 guys are going to be able to lead the charge. So now you shrink that down to 2 to 3 guys. And he's one of those 2 to 3 guys. So that's why you're concerned, and you should be concerned because we even this walk-off was a little blooper, right? It wasn't nothing special, but he got contact on the ball, and he gets out there.
Yeah, he's had like one really – I mean, there was the home run off to Grom that was phenomenal, a great AB. And then there was he had that double I want to say a quality foul ball, but that doesn't really do it justice. We're going to call an audible on this one. We're going to try to see if we can reschedule our Mariners conversation. Is it too early to dive into your profiles of your...
No, we can do it.
Let's do that. Let's jump in because I want to jump right into some kind of conversation here, and I don't want to run the well dry here on Cal. Let's get back to that. Right now, we want to talk about Bump's guys, 5 prospect fits for the Seahawks. Who you got?
All right, let's start off with Chase Bazantis. I hope I'm saying your name right. Bazantis. Chase Bazantis, a guard out of Texas, 6'5", 315 pounds, ran the 40 in 5.02. That's fast. Had a 32-inch vert. That's big for a big boy. Freshman All-American. He played 13 games at tackle his freshman year, switched over sophomore year, then he moved to guard. I had Big Ray. I said, Big Ray, this is what I think about this guy. Now, you tell me what you think. I told Big Ray, I said, look, man, he plays with heavy hands. Heavy hands means that when he pops you in the chest, you are going to feel him. All right, he strikes with authority. He allowed 1 sack last year on 441 pass blocks. He has 1,962 career snaps experience. Last 2 seasons, 721 pass blocking snaps, and he's only allowed 2 sacks. That means he knows what he's doing, and he has the technique. He has quick feet. I'm going to read you a little bit of what Big Ray said when I asked my man to go ahead and do his analysis. He said, look, his strength, spectacular base, rarely gets his feet stacked up, allows for good change of direction, pass pro, the ability to stay connected in the run game, a bunch of other strength. Weakness, not the longest arms, has to be accurate and quick with his hands to offset long arms defensive tackles. You know the NFL loves measurables. You're going to look at your arms. You're going to look at all that good stuff. But when you put on the film with this guy, he plays with a pop, with a good base, and when you decide to pull him, he's good to go. Has experience at the tackle spot, so that does something for the mental. You want that PhD, as my big homie Ray says, at the guard spot. But versatility, start off as a tackle, moved in as a guard. Heavy hands, good base. You're going to feel him when he pops you in the chest.
I was not expecting an offensive lineman to be one of these 5.
Yeah, I'm trying to mix it up a little bit. Everyone's talking about the same guy, so let's mix it up a bit. Let's mix it up.
Okay, what's next?
Next up, we got Akeem Mesidor, DN out of Miami, 6'3", 280 pounds. Side note, he's Canadian. He took a different route to get here.
You know what? I love Canadians.
I love Canadians. All CC honors, 12 sacks, 17 tackles for losses, 4 forced fumbles. He had 2 sacks in the national championship. The things that sticks out with him is he has a plethora of moves with his hands. Guess who his coach is? The great Jason Taylor, Miami Dolphins, right? He's over there coaching that guy. And you can tell you got Baines over there as well at that DN spot. You have Mesidor over there as well. It makes sense why these guys are so versatile with their hands. They're being coached up by a Hall of Famer over there. I mean, he has a good burst, and he closed the space off the edge, right? When you get off the edge at that end spot, you want to close the space with that tackle. And that first step does that, and then he does a great job of chattering his feet and finding that balance to set up his moves. It's like a receiver when he releases off the line of scrimmage. You set up your move with your feet, use your hands, and you move these guys. He played nose tackle at West Virginia. He's a transfer guy. The reason why I point out when guys play other positions is that they see the game differently. Yes, it's in the box, everything is close, but he understands for me to do my job, well, I got to make sure he does his and vice versa. We're working off each other. I understand how the puzzle all fits. I really like this dude, man. 5th when it comes to tackles for losses, 17.5, over 50-something tackles for loss throughout his career. He's a never say die guy. That's my quote for him. Never say die.
Love it.
He is moving. If the ball is in the backfield, he is hunting you down. He's smelling water in the blood.
Blood in the water.
Water in the blood.
Water in the blood.
And then he's doing his thing. So, no, I love it, man. It's it was fun watching his film because he's jittery. He never stops, and he understands his body and how to move guys.
Who's Bump's third guy?
Third guy. We got
I love this Bumps guys.
Avion Terrell. All right, DB out of Clemson. 5'10", 186 pounds. 4.39. His brother played in NFL first-round pick. He was an AP All-American. Career 8 forced fumbles. He's a DB. 8 forced fumbles. You look at him on film, he's getting downhill. He's smacking you. He's punching the ball out. That's a school record. He's a DB with 8 forced fumbles. It's stupid. He's disciplined when it comes to doing his assignment. He will do his assignment. But then at some point, you become a football player. Yes, I have deep thirds. Yes, I'm passing this off to my safety. But see ball, get ball. If something happens, you have to deviate from the plan and just go down him and get the football. He does that. Good eyes in the zone, and he's good at reading receivers' body languages, right? When the ball is up in the air, we are taught to be extremely calm. Keep your arms pumping. Don't change your body language. But you're a human being, things are going to change with the way you move. He recognizes that, and if he is in phase, he's putting his hand on the hip, and he's looking for the football. He feels what the receiver's doing. Very technical. I really like watching film on this guy. Again, he's one of those DBs who are going to let you know when he makes a play, and I have no problem with that. You let these guys know when you make a play. Just a guy that brings an energy to a defense that anyone across the country would want. 8 forced fumbles as a DB. That's not by accident.
Number 4.
We got D'Angelo Pons, DB out of Indiana, 5'8", 182 pounds. He's a track kind of guy. He has track speed. He plays bigger than his size. He even looks bigger on film, honestly, than 5'8". 43-inch vert, smart ball player. There's a play, I think a couple years ago against Oregon. First play of the game. Oregon comes out in the RPO. RPO, run pass option. You got your quarterback back there faking the handoff from left to right. You have a route combination. I believe it's a simple out-up combination. We call it Oregon. We call it orange or anything with O. And he reads the mesh in the backfield and jumps on the break quick. I believe it was the first play of the game, too. Takes that thing to the house. Everything I read about this guy, it says he's a smart football player. And then you watch him on film, and it reflects exactly that. It's hard out there for a guy 5'8". Playing in on any level when it comes to football, either college or the NFL. But he makes up for it because he is smart. He understands his body, too. I just talked about Terrell, who's 5'10", only two more inches than him. He can play a bit more aggressive. That's just the way he does it. But because you're a smaller guy, you can be aggressive, but you got to be smart with your aggression. You don't just try to go up to these big tight ends and try to hit them high. You chop them down. He understands his body. He understands what makes him the football player that he is. And that's what I really like about him. When you have instincts, it's all about it. Pons has that, and I appreciate him.
All right. Can we save number 5 so we can get back to it?
All right, we'll save it.
Because I want more time on more of these. I don't want to I only saved you like 30 seconds, so I don't want to. Okay, so that was top 4. We're going to get to one more coming up at noon, and then we'll circle back and look at why these are all great fits for Seattle, too. Some names that we're not talking about nearly enough. I love it. Okay, so those are Bumps, guys. 4 guys, one more to come at noon. We're going to get to Jason Churchill at 11:30. Coming up next is 4 Down Territory.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
Did you guys look outside this weekend? It's beautiful. In fact, it's beautiful today. If you haven't, make sure you go outside. Spring is here. Summer is right around the corner, and you deserve to be out on the water. That's exactly what I did last week on the Arc Sport, and you can do it too. The Arc Sport is a fully electric wake boat from Arc, and you can book a demo to go for a ride. Why wouldn't you? If you're someone who already loves taking your boat out or you're in the market for one, I am warning you. I'm warning you right now. You're going to fall in love with the Arc Sport. It's sleek, it's easy to operate with practically no maintenance because it's all electric. So there's no winterization and no oil changes. That means next time you see a beautiful day like today, you can be out on the water right away. Charging it up is easy, and the software actually improves with time. And how often can you say that about anything you buy? You really have to see and experience this boat for yourself, so do it. Book a demo. It's easy. Carter will pick you up right on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. Fill out the form and you'll be out on the water. Arc, you have to see it to believe it.
Hey, what a surprise. We got tons of rain here in the Northwest in the late winter into the spring. It all adds up. Now's the time of the year when the ground becomes completely saturated with water, and that can cause real problems in your crawl space. It's Mike Salk here, and groundwater intrusion in crawl spaces, it's pretty common, but it's got to be addressed before it causes structural damage or even worse, toxic mold in your home. You don't want any part of that. That's why if you're worried about any groundwater in your crawl space, you call Crawl Pros and you get a free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll climb into that crawl space, see what the condition is. They will go where you don't want to, definitely where I didn't want to. They came to my house and handled all this stuff. If they find water, they'll install a groundwater drainage system and a sump pump and reroute that water outside your home's footprint where it belongs. Don't take the risk. Do what I did. Have Crawl Pros come out for that free corner-to-corner inspection. They'll even check your attic at the same time. If you're worried that anything is going on with your crawl space or attic, call Crawl Pros or visit crawlpros.com.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
The best path at that point was to stop for the night, and you go home and take a breath. She came back in the morning and bought the car. She was way happier.
The LJ way.
Start having fun. Caesar Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino Resort is your #1 place to eat, drink, watch, and have fun. Keep up with your favorite sports anywhere and everywhere on property with the mobile app. Visit muckleshootcasino.com today. Scan the QR code and let the play begin.
Muckleshoot.
Listen every morning to Brock and Salk for Need to Know, powered by Marquee Data. Marquee IQ brings all your data together into one clear view. Stop running your business on highlights. Get the full picture. Visit datathatwins.com to learn more.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeService.com.
Mariners and A's tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
Progressive knows that for business owners, vacations hit different. But hey, at least you finally took a vacation. And look at that. You only answered 53 calls, 84 emails, onboarded 1 new hire, and covered for Chris while he's out on paternity leave, and you did it all from a kayak. Because you, my friend, know how to relax. All right, you may not know how to take a day off, but you do know both your personal and business auto insurance needs can be covered in one place with Progressive. So at least that's relaxing, right? Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in all states or situations.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is 4 down territory, going inside the game. What former Seahawks and Coug wide receiver Michael Bumpus.
First down, Bump. What organization has shown their quarterback they'll at least try to appease him?
They're trying to appease him, and they should, because if not, he will dip on you. I'm talking about the Cincinnati Bengals and Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow's made it clear. He got his boys paid. Got T. Higgins paid, got Chase paid, but he's just not having fun anymore. You've heard the sound bites, right? He's not having fun. So what do the Bengals do? You can't sign Trey Henderson. You weren't willing to pay him. Where'd he go? To Baltimore. what they were willing to pay him. So you replace him with Dexter Lawrence, not a sack guy, but a run stopper guy. The Bengals were the worst against the run in the league last year. 147 yards per game they gave up. The last 3 games, a bit better, around 90-something. But overall, they were the worst against the run. What do? You get an all-pro type of guy to help in that situation. And then you you sign Boye Mafe. Seahawks fans probably look at that and say, they're not going to get much. But Cincinnati likes the film. They like the tempo he plays with and the potential to grow. He's still pretty young when it comes to football. Yes, he's been in the league 4 years, but it's only maybe a 7th year playing for real football. The Bengals, they're trying over there. They're trying to appease their quarterback. As you know, if your quarterback is not happy when it's time to re-up, they will want to get out of there, and anybody in this league will want Joe Burrow on their squad.
2nd down. What would adding A.J. Brown do to the Patriots' wideout room?
They would be, in my opinion, the 2nd best receiving group in the AFC. In the AFC, you look at the room as it stands right now. You got Romeo Doubs, solid receiver for the Packers last year, put up about 700 yards. You got Kayshon Boutte, who I think is right there. I think he's really going to be a good football player. 33 receptions, 551, and 6 touchdowns. And then you got Mac Hollins. We all know Mac Hollins, the guy who had like 2 big catches in the Super Bowl drive to put their first points on the board. And then you throw in Kyle Williams out there, go Cougs. My son after Chisholm III, no one thinks about him, but you know what? It's my guy. But you put him into that mix, and you get a guy who can teach older guys as well. It's weird because you got Stephon Diggs, who was there to teach as well. He got some drama off the field with his lifestyle.
I don't know how much teaching.
A.J. Brown, and he got some drama on the field, on the sidelines and whatnot. But what you can't deny is they know how to play football. These guys come ready to play. Yes, Diggs had his issues, but at 37 years old, he still put up 1,000 yards. This A.J. has his issues, but even with the best running back in the game, depending on how you think of it, and another number 1 type receiver, he still put up 1,000 yards. Off the field, okay, fix some things, but how to get open, how to be a pro, he can teach that. This room, if they are, it sounds like they're going to get him. If they do, 2nd best receiving core in the AFC, in my opinion.
I believe it. It'd be objectively funny if he started a book club. Right?
Book club.
I think that'd be really funny. 3rd down. What's an example of how hard it is to win in the NFL, even if you get the number 1 pick?
Man, I went back all the way to 1983. 1983.
That was 52 years ago.
John Elway was drafted by the Baltimore Colts. Baltimore Colts. All right? So since 1983, there have been 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number 1 picks. Number 1 at the quarterback spot to win the Super Bowl. All right?
Only 6?
6.
But multiple Super Bowls for a few of those guys.
Exactly. 6. You got Matthew Stafford, Eli Manning, Peyton Manning. This as a starter. You could be a backup.
6.
All right? Drew Brees. Drew Bledsoe. And he won it as a backup with the Patriots. Troy Aikman.
10.
Eli. So, it's hard out there, man. So when we were talking about how difficult it is to hit picks 1 through 10. If you don't, people think that it's a bust. This is an example right here. You can have some guys. There are some names that have gone number 1 that you would think, man, they had to win Super Bowl.
Right.
No, they have not. So just keep that in mind when you're a Jets fan and you're watching the draft this year. It ain't going to happen for you.
4th down. Keep in mind when you're watching the draft, just not going to happen for you.
Not going to happen for you.
What Seahawk has a real opportunity to move up in the depth chart?
One, I pointed out in my 5 guys with 1 more to go, 2 DBs that the Hawks could be looking at or should be looking at are just guys that are worthy of a draft pick. And I'm looking at Nehemiah Pritchett. In 2025, he played 91 defensive snaps, 255 special teams. Year before that, 151 D snaps, 73 on specials. So the opportunity have gone down with Nehemiah Pritchett. But when you have turnover, when you have guys that leave, initially, when you come to camp, you come to OTAs, coaches are going to look at the guys who have been there already and say, okay, instead of being a 3, you're a 2 now. Instead of being a 4, you're a 3. So there's opportunity. I don't know how talented Nehemiah Pritchett is compared to the guys that they can potentially bring in. But what I do know is that he understands what Mike McDonald wants. Not a name that people know a lot about, not a name that flashes a lot out there, but I'm digging in the depth chart and looking for opportunity for guys. And I think Nehemiah might have a chance. What he does with it is up to him. But coach is going to look at him and say, I'm going to put you in front of that rookie, at least to start, and let's see what happens.
Again, Bump went over 4 of those 5 guys. We'll go over the first 4 and then talk about the 5th coming up at noon with a few names you've heard of and some you haven't for the Seahawks in this week's draft. A few days away. Getting back to the Mariners with Jason Churchill next.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcasts.
Holy smokes, what a play!
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
When you jump on the back of a bull and the gate swings, there's no middle ground. You either ride it out with 8 seconds of pure adrenaline or hit the dirt and run. Bull riding is not just a sport, it's a gamble of guts and glory. Nothing else compares. This is the PBR Unleash the Beast Tour. See the best bull riders in the world faced off at Cooper Tire's PBR Tacoma at Tacoma Dome this weekend. Ready to be cowboy? Get your tickets at Ticketmaster. It's bull time.
Hello, Seattle. Bank of America, in partnership with Visa, invites you to a FIFA World Cup 26 watch party. Open an eligible Bank of America checking account in participating financial centers only for an opportunity to reserve 2 complimentary tickets while supplies last. Experience special musical guests, games, giveaways, food, and more, all at a legendary venue. Learn more at BofA.com/BofA Visa Watch Party. What would you like the power to do? Bank of America, proud to be the official bank of FIFA World Cup 26. Bank of America and a member FDIC. Terms apply. All rights reserved.
Whoa. Okay. This one says you get a free phone if you switch. Hey, this one also says you get a free phone if you switch.
Yeah, they all do, hon.
Wait. The T-Mobile one says families saved over $3,700 versus the other big guys in the past 5 years. And their experience plans have Netflix included, plus a year of Dash Pass by DoorDash.
Hang on, let me see that. And a 5-year price guarantee? Oh yeah, we're switching.
That's what I'm talking about. Do we clap now, or?
I'm thinking high five.
At T-Mobile, get savings that keep stacking up. That's value you can feel every day. Switch now at T-Mobile.
Savings based on Harris X billing snapshots from Q3 2021 to Q4 2025 among accounts with 3+ voice lines compared to AT&T and Verizon, excluding discounts, credits, and optional charges. See harrisx.com/T-Mobile. Price guarantee on talk, text, and data. Exclusions like taxes and fees apply. See T-Mobile.com.
Hi, Chuck here at Frank Lumber, the door store. One of our most popular services is our matchup service, where we use your old door as a template to create a new door in your existing frame. Whether you need an interior or exterior door, this is a great way to change out your doors DIY style. And as long as we have what you need in stock, we currently have available space without a long wait for our same-day matchup service. Please visit us in Shoreline, where there's plenty of good parking. Also, check us out online at franklumber.com.
Mariners and A's tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
When the dollar's convertibility into gold ended in 1971, gold was fixed at $35 an ounce. Fast forward to today, and the U.S. dollar has lost over 85% of its purchasing power. Meanwhile, gold has increased in value by over 12,000%. Central banks are buying gold at record levels. Major firms are holding significant positions in gold, and I choose to buy gold from Birch Gold Group. Stan Bongino, and it all starts with education. Birch Gold just announced their Learn and Earn Precious Metals event. This free online event rewards you for learning the basics of investing in precious metals. Sign up to get free silver on your next purchase if you qualify. And you can get even larger incentives as you go. The more you learn, the more you can earn. But act now. This special event only runs through April 30th, so text my name Dan to the number 989898 to join Birch Gold's Learn and Earn Precious Metals event by April 30th. Text Dan to 989898 today. Message and data rates may apply.
Well, spring is all about getting ready for summer, isn't it? Hey, Brock Heward here. And working out in your own home, well, it is the best. We've been doing so for years. And you can allow Top Fitness to create your own home gym. And right now, get spring special financing with 0% interest for 12 months. Plus, mention me and receive an $150 credit towards any purchase over $1,000. Spring is here. So go get into Top Fitness with locations in Tukwila, Linwood, and Bellevue, or simply visit topfitness.com for more info.
Thinking about upgrading your water heater? Snohomish PUD can help. Right now, you can get $1,000 back when you install a qualifying heat pump water heater. These systems use far less energy than standard electric tanks, which means lower electric bills for you.
Oh, nice.
Choose an eligible model, apply for your rebate within 90 days, and get cash back from PUD. Learn more at snowpud.com/rebates.
Around the Diamond is sponsored by Klein Jewelers.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Jason Churchill joining us now on the Emerald Queen Casino Sportsbook Hotline, and we have a lot of Mariners questions. Jason, how's it going?
Hey, pretty good. Pretty good. It's been a weird season so far.
A really weird season. My most important question was really how you're feeling and how you're doing. Now let's get to the less important stuff, which is about the Mariners in a year where we're hoping they can get to a World Series. Unsurprisingly, maybe, I wanted to start with Cal. Why not? I mean, biggest story for this team last year, one of the biggest stories in baseball, in fact, and I am not loving his hard hit percentage this year. I'm trying to make sense of, okay, hard hit is way down, but then the fly ball percentage is still really high. Is it a good or bad thing? Is what you're seeing with Cal something he can fix, is I guess what I'm asking.
Yeah, absolutely. I think we're still looking at, nobody wants to hear the whole it's early sort of thing, but we're still looking at, 100 plate appearance sample. And a lot of players, most players, I won't say all players, but most players are going to go through a 100 plate appearance, kind of a month-long, swoon where they just don't hit. I mean, this is probably a little worse than you want to see for a player like that. But I have seen, early on, I think we've seen Cal be a little bit anxious, a little bit. It almost looks like he's trying to avoid getting to 2 strikes, but we know Cal doesn't hit that way. Some of the hitters in this lineup do, but Cal generally doesn't. The swing and misses up, I think that's the biggest thing, for me. The general swinging strike rate is up a little bit to go with the strikeouts, but he's still walking. We've seen him hit the ball hard. We've seen him have, pretty decent moments, and we know what he's capable of doing. I think you look at the last, week or so, he's had a couple of 2-hit games. He's got a couple of doubles. I just don't think we're seeing, the process or the results right now from a consistency standpoint. And consistency is always like the name of the game, isn't it? Like you see Julio do this, you see Cal do this, and it's like, can they do it somewhat consistently? And very few hitters do it consistently. And Cal's one of those types of hitters where he kind of is a 3 true outcome guy. He's going to walk a lot. He's going to strike out a lot. He's going to hit a lot of home runs. And he's just susceptible to this kind of month, where we're about a month in now, and the numbers don't look good right now. So I never get to the point where I worry about a player who's put multiple high-level seasons, behind them. But, it certainly hasn't helped that the hitters hitting in the 2-hole and had such a big year last year hasn't really performed much.
Church, the division isn't great. We got Texas, the Athletics, the A's, I should say, and the Angels on top of the division. You got Seattle and Houston at the bottom. Just talk to me about just the landscape of this division. Going into the season, I've heard the A's are a sneaky, talented team, super athletic. I haven't heard much about the Angels. Yeah, it's early, as we like to say, but what's the profile of this division?
Yeah, I think on paper, other than the Astros losing Framber Valdez and not really replacing him, with that guy at the top of the rotation behind Hunter Brown, the division improved, like, across the board. And I thought Seattle had an okay offseason. I mean, bringing back Josh Naylor, was big, and then making that late winter deal to add Brendan Donovan was key, but they didn't do as much as the other clubs did to kind of keep pace to add to what they ended the season with. They pretty much straight across, different players. they kind of looked, somewhat similar. Like you could see them winning 85 games. You can see them winning 92 or 93. I still think it's the best roster in the division. And when the year started, it looked like the Astros and the Rangers had a chance to stay with Seattle to compete for the division, but they had less margin for error. And we're seeing in Houston right now that margin for error is just gone. Like the injuries have killed them. They haven't had Josh Hader. Their starting pitching is an absolute disaster. Guys going down like flies. I don't think the Angels are good, but they're better. And they're probably going to, win more games than they did a year ago. They're going to hang in a little longer than they did a year ago. I think the A's are on, kind of that line where you start to trend up. And I think this is another one of those years. I think they got a chance to make playoffs next year. They're going to hit, certainly. Overall, the division, I don't think it's any better than it was a year ago. I think that the winning is just spread out a little bit more across every team in the division. There's a really good chance, and I think the start to this season suggests, this is more possible than maybe we thought at the beginning of the year, that none of these teams win more than 86 or 87 games this year. They're kind of beating each other up a little bit more than they did a year ago. Not a good division, but I think there's one, maybe two decent, to good teams in it. I think Seattle's still right at the top.
You mentioned Naylor. One of the most common questions we get is about the lineup. Do you think that Cal and Naylor would benefit from being pushed back, or is that like a panic reaction?
You mean pushed down in the lineup?
Excuse me, pushed down in the lineup, yes.
Yeah, I'm not a big lineup guy. I think the player's personality and how he goes about his at-bats and how he goes about the mental aspect of it are key to this. There are players that want to see pitches, that want to see 2, 3, 4 hitters before them to kind of get an idea what that starting pitcher is doing. There are some hitters that don't really need that. They don't really think about it that way. So if like Cal told, the staff, hey, put me at 3 or 4, I think seeing more pitches is going to help me, then I think, yes, that's possible. But I think it should be player-driven, their personality-driven, kind of the way they want to go about their business. I just don't believe, this whole idea, if you bat Cal 5, for example, that it takes pressure off him to the point where he's just going to magically start performing. I don't buy that at all. There's really no evidence to that at all. I think it's really about what's going on with that particular hitter and how he's feeling about, his approach and his attack plan, game to game and at bat to at bat, within the game. I think we've seen, I think a lot of folks are a little tired right now of the whole platoon thing and the lefty-righty thing. But Cal being a lefty and a righty, too, this is another thing that we always have to bring up with Cal. He's got 2 swings that he's managing. When he needs to make an adjustment, it's usually from both sides of the plate, so it can take a little bit longer. But changing the lineup, I don't really see a huge advantage in that unless the player says, hey, maybe bat me 3rd or bat me 5th or bat me 7th instead of 5th. Having those conversations with those players, that's where the human element of this comes into play.
How's Luke been able to have the start to the season that he's had, and how important is it for him to do this while you have guys like Cal struggling?
Yeah, I think Raleigh and Arozarena have been obviously huge, and Raleigh being a guy who's not going to face a whole lot of left-handed pitching. I think he has 2 plate appearances against lefties so far. We've seen him hit right-handers before. I think last year, we're kind of learning right now, the injury really was the reason Luke Raley didn't perform last year. There was absolutely no power last year. I think he's got 12 extra base hits already this season, 7 doubles to go or 8 doubles to go with the 4 home runs. I think the big thing with Raley, when you look at how you approach, how you use him, because he hasn't hit lefties, it's a big thing. Like, do we pull Canzone every time? Do we pull Raley every time? He's one of your hottest hitters. We had a moment the other day where, Raley's spot in the lineup comes up and Connor Joe comes in to pinch it. I mean, that's purely a handedness-based move. And I'm just kind of curious. I haven't seen anything personally, but I'm kind of curious. Is Luke Raley doing something different at the plate that gives him a better chance against lefties? Because right now he is one of your best hitters or your best hitter. And taking him out of the lineup basically halfway through the game, that's really tough. And I can't identify why Luke Raley's had such a great start. Most of it's that he's facing right-handed pitching, and we've seen him crush right-handed pitching before. But I think getting Luke Raley as many at-bats against right-handed pitching as possible should be part of the plan here, just like getting Dom Canzone as many at-bats against right-handed pitching as possible. And I think pulling those guys in the 5th and 6th inning for a right-handed batter to face a lefty reliever when that spot in the order is going to come up again, to be honest with you, I think that's a big mistake that Dan Wilson has made multiple times early this season.
Have your questions about the Mariners and how they can get to a World Series changed at all a month into the season, or are they roughly the same?
Yeah, I think by default, for me, they're the same. I want to get to 50, 60 games before. Sometimes we hear managers talk about, I want to get to 40 games. I'm more of a 50, 60 game guy because so much can happen early in the year. And I think with weather, being a big part of it, the Mariners notorious. I mean, everybody I talk to is like, why can't this team just for once start out like 15-6 and then just run away with it? Why does it have to be, the heart attack kids all the time? You start slow or you go into this losing streak. It just doesn't happen with this club. And I can't put my finger on that, but I don't look at this team any differently than I did. I think there are some potential advantages to this kind of a start, considering you're without Bryce Miller. You got to find out, hey, look what Emerson Hancock is doing. And that's not because they started poorly, but that's because Bryce Miller was out. And, when you look at one of your better starters being out, that contributes to the start you've had. And it really hasn't been that bad of a start. You win 2 out of 3, against Texas. You're 10-13 now. 8-13 look really bad, one of the worst records in the league. But it's just it's so early, and just about every team in the league, just like Cal, struggling. Every player, every hitter just about is going to go through that kind of a month to plate. Every team's going to go 10-13 over a 23-game stretch at some point. It just so happens Seattle started that way, and you definitely don't want to do that. But it's pretty, they're pretty notorious for doing that. It's like Julio starting slow at the plate. Seattle doesn't go 15-7 or whatever it is through their first 22 or 23 games. They just haven't really done that much. And here they are, a game and a half out of first place still, because the division is just right there, and everybody's kind of dealing with the same sort of stuff, just fighting through some injuries, fighting through slow starts at the plate. It's pretty much all over the league right now. So I still see Seattle as about a 90-win team, as the best team in the West. And we'll kind of see what happens. They're certainly not the only team struggling. We're looking around the Mets. The Blue Jays, to me, are the most disappointing team. But, again, injuries, come into play. So Seattle's still right there. Nothing's changed for me with this club.
There are a couple names that can struggle out the bullpen, and I'm like, all right, well, he'll be back. He'll be fine. Munoz, Brash, Spire. But then there are other names that kind of worry me a little bit. What are your thoughts on the bullpen, where they stand now, and just what's their grade so far this year?
Yeah, I think overall it's been good. We've seen some games lost. Munoz kind of imploded. It started out with a bunch of bad luck, and then he just, walking the leadoff hitter is certainly not a good idea. But you look at some of the numbers. I mean, Munoz is missing bats. You look at the ERA, it looks bad, but you look at some of the other numbers, and he's basically the same guy, minus a little bit of control, problems that he's having. I think Cooper Criswell and Casey Legamine have done a decent job in the longer roles and the mop-up type roles, but the problem is the way this bullpen's being used. If you ask me, and you did, that's the biggest problem with this bullpen. You go to Jose Ferrer against a lefty in a situation where, your best reliever after Munoz was available in that game, and you went handedness instead. So we get back to the handedness-based, player usage. Doesn't always work. Most teams are not doing that. All the good teams right now, you look around, the teams that have had success, it's not a pure handedness base. It's not an inning-based usage plan, and that's what Seattle's been doing most of last year, and certainly, so far all of this year. And it just doesn't really work. That really should have been Matt Brash. Now, Matt Brash, again, I think everybody would agree, Matt Brash is your second best reliever right now. If Brash comes into the game and gives up the game-winning hit, you kind of just palms up. It was your best guy. The game was on the line, and you used him, and it didn't work. At least you used your best guy. I like Jose Ferrer. I think he's going to be good. I think he's going to be something that he isn't quite yet. That's not a guy you bring out in that situation with Matt Brash available. I think there's a full grade and a half difference, maybe 2 full grade difference between Matt Brash's ability and Jose Ferrer's ability, particularly in a big spot like that, like against the Padres when they used Ferrer late, and they lost the game after leading 6-2 heading into the inning. I think the bullpen has a chance to be good, but I think usage is going to be the key. I'm not an innings-based, usage guy. I'm the guy who the other day they bring in Brash right after Kirby, and he gets the one out, and they take him out. I'm the guy who kind of liked that because it was 3-1 at the time. The tying run was at the plate, and they wanted to shut it down and not turn the lineup over. It was the 9-hitter, and yeah, you should be able to go to Bizzardo or someone else to get the 9-hitter out. But it was really important in that situation that you don't turn that lineup over and get to Seager with runners on base. Even in the 6th inning, I actually kind of liked that Dan Wilson said, you know what, I need to shut this down, and I went to Brash here. But there are a lot of other situations where I just don't really understand the rhyme or reason to the bullpen usage, and I think it's hurt them.
Kind of a quick follow-up before we let you go. I'm sorry to keep you just a little late here, but I like this topic, and I know that you have a lot of knowledge about it, so I want to ask, is that something where you think, like, it's a Mariners philosophy that Dan is just told this is it? Is it a lack of feel? Is it a choice by Dan? Like, to what extent does Dan's lack of managerial experience play in here?
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that question, certainly, but this is different than the way things were run under Scott Service. It was not an innings-based plan at all. They would bring in Munoz in the 8th inning sometimes to face the middle of the order in a 3-2 game and let Brash face the 6, 7, 8 hitters instead, or Spire or whatever it was. They don't do that anymore. We notice Munoz does not come in and pitch the 8 much at all. He didn't last year, but a couple of times. And Munoz's best seasons were under Scott Service. And I'm not saying that's Dan Wilson's fault, but he obviously didn't suffer being used in the 8th inning sometimes when the game was on the line, instead of being saved for the innings-based thing. I think it's a Dan Wilson thing. I think he believes in more traditional bullpen usage. I see attempts by Dan Wilson and that staff to evolve a little bit, but it hasn't gone enough. You watch these other clubs and how they use their guys. If you assign, like, who's the Blue Jays Matt Brash, who's the Blue Jays Andres Munoz, who's the Blue Jays Gabe Spire, who's the Blue Jays Bizzardo, if you do that and then go watch a series, the Blue Jays series, you will see that staff use their bullpen very differently than Seattle uses theirs. And most good teams with good bullpens that are having success with their bullpen the last couple of years will use it that way, and the way that Scott Service and the Mariners were using a couple of years ago. Dan has a different plan, and it really seems like it's very much based on 25, 30 years ago.
He is Jason Churchill. Before we let you go, very quickly, tell listeners where they can find more.
You can find me on social at Prospect Insider, on X, Baseball Things Podcast, baseballthings.com.
Thanks, Jason. Bye.
Thanks, Church.
You got it. Thanks.
Let's get to the timeline.
This is The Timeline
with Bump and Stacy.
Brought to you by 1-800-DUI-AWAY.
Oh, the story that won't go away. You know what? I'm not mad at it, though. I'm sorry. It is very fascinating to me. We now know roughly the full timeline of events in the immediate aftermath of Diana Rossini and Mike Vrabel being spotted together, thanks to the reporting of ESPN's Ben Strauss. So apparently the NFL will reportedly not investigate Mike Vrabel's involvement at all. Well, it's a good question, because we also learned, I want to get back to the timeline. We are in the timeline, but I'm talking about the timeline with what happened immediately after. NFL's not looking into it. I don't think that they're that interested in continuing to explore the story. In Touch Weekly said that Robert Kraft tried to stop the Post from publishing the photos. Did you guys hear this?
Yeah, I did.
So the first thing, before I get into like immediately what happened in the wild part of, to me, the wildest part from Ben Strauss's reporting on ESPN, In Touch says that Robert Kraft intervened, and his quote, he had his head honchos pressure the Post before the publisher tried to kill the story.
Yo, the NFL is the biggest country club in the world. Not in the world, in the country. We'll give it the country. And they will protect each other. If you look at just the history of Robert Kraft and the stuff he's gotten into, you know that he's familiar with stuff like this. And he loves Vrabel. Vrabel played for him. Obviously coached his team to an AFC championship game. He don't want him to go anywhere.
Yeah.
And Kraft are one of like the 5 owners in the league that have the pull, and he's doing what he can to protect his boy.
I was explaining to a friend, like, whether there was an unequal way that both are being treated by their employers. And I was like, well, you kind of have to look at both employers. Diana Rossini's employer is in the business of uncovering information. Mike Vrabel's employer is in the business of covering it up. So, of course, it's being treated very differently.
Yep.
The timeline, though, getting back to, I keep saying timeline because it's the segment. I'm talking about the timeline following this. So this feature came out on the 17th from Ben Strauss. The wildest part to me is that a reporter from the Post followed up with Rossini by showing up to her home on Easter Sunday to be like, any follow-up, anything you want to say here, anything that you want to do to potentially refute, these photos or add context to them, anything you want to say whatsoever. I don't know, maybe she just declined, but then she got on the phone with a crisis communications expert to strategize how to respond to the story. So then the Post publishes it 2 days later. So she's had 2 days now to kind of figure out what they're going to do. They both released that statement saying, we're there with friends. I can't believe that for 2 days you worked with a crisis communicator and they were like, yes, just say you were there with friends. Just do that.
I mean, what else? Because you're trying to save face, right? You're trying to save your reputation. And I think that in those situations, a crisis, whatever the heck, is going to tell you, all right, we got one swing at this. If they can buy this, is there anyone else there that you knew that you could say, all right, this was, it was a girls' trip. Then you take a swing at it. But then as details begin to get leaked and more photos and all that good stuff, you just fess up and move on.
Well, how many people do you know that have hired a crisis management firm when they know for a fact what they've done is not wrong?
Let me tell you what. I watched a lot of Scandal, and zero people hired Olivia Pope.
You don't hire those people if what you're doing is above board.
Well, I think
I think you can. I think if you feel like you're being attacked, you can hire someone like
well,
that.
that's almost like going to a lawyer. Like, that's more like,
If
I'm
you're being
calling my
attacked,
lawyer right now because I'm being, like, blackmailed by the Post or whatever. I think it became very clear very quickly that there was no evidence that Diana or Mike Vrabel could provide their employers. The difference is Mike Vrabel's employer didn't care.
Yeah, they had one swing at this to try to divert. And like you said, evidence.
Yes.
No evidence.
The answer, Curtis, is no one. The
anybody.
answer is that, that this is something that, like, I feel like we're all kind of acknowledging, like, this happened, right? Like, it's just that
something happened.
Yeah. And even Diana's statement about, like, continuing to have talk about it, kind of being like, I'm above this. This is beneath me.
You are the ones not making it go away, not me.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I can imagine that it was very hard to be subject to public scrutiny in that way, and I could see how someone, even if they hadn't done anything, would be like, I've had enough. I'm stepping away. Like, I hate this.
Why don't they realize that in this country, you could do a lot of stuff. If you just fess up and sit down for a couple of years and take a punch on the chin and just move on, eventually you could come back to life and get back to work. And people aren't going to ignore it, but they're going to say they will respect the way that you handled it.
Unless, and I'm not saying this is how Diana or Mike feel, unless you're someone who just thinks, I don't need to be accountable to anyone. Like, I've gotten away with this, or I don't need to, which is interesting because Vrabel, his entire program preaches accountability. I don't really know how you stand in front of your players and talk about accountability.
Easily. I'll tell you 100%. Easily.
If you were a player, would you think twice?
I ain't flinching. Coach me up. Whatever you do in your personal time is you. It's jacked up, but let's get these X's and O's.
Players seem
this
to
money.
like.
Yeah, man.
They seem to like you.
This is the most, I'm telling you, the NFL is the most masculine boys club.
Yeah.
What's that term people use?
Toxic masculinity.
Yes, it's there. It's there. But let's not act like this isn't a violent game with violent people who do some shady stuff. There's a lot of good people in there, too. A lot of great people in there, too.
No, but there's a lot of other people cheating on their spouses.
It ain't right.
Yeah.
But
that's also why the standard's very different. Like, I don't think it's a double standard that both were treated differently by their employer, but, like, there's a reason we're all talking about the two of them very differently, and that Diana Rossini's face is on the cover of every single thing. We didn't have time to get to some other stuff here, but we'll get back to it a bit later in the show. Let's go around the diamond. The Mariners get their first look at the A's tonight at T-Mobile Park. You got one more series here before hitting the road again. Pregame starts at 5:30 p.m. on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. First pitch is at 6:40 p.m. on Seattle Sports. Emerson Hancock on the mound. That's Around the Diamond, brought to you by Klein Jewelers Edmonds. Coming up next, we're going to get back to those 5 names, Bump's 5 guys he likes for the Seahawks in the draft.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
the work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Thursday, only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Ewert, Michael Bumpus, Dave Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
What does baseball and Klein Jewelers have in common? Diamonds, of course. Hi, Andy Klein here. Sure, we love baseball, but we love diamonds even more. Why? Because our diamonds sparkle and last longer than 9 innings. Every diamond is hand-selected for maximum brilliance, quality, and value. Klein Jewelers by the Fountain in downtown Edmonds also has a big selection of engagement rings, wedding bands, diamond and gemstone fashion jewelry, and one-of-a-kind custom designs. Swing for the fences and shine with Klein.
It's WFC 190 World Fighting Championship at Emerald Queen Casino Event Center. Saturday night, April 25th. Experience the thrill and excitement of high-energy professional mixed martial arts. Tickets at emeraldqueen.com. Don't miss this amazing mixed martial arts event. WFC 190 World Fighting Championship, April 25th. At Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. 21 and older. Need gambling help? Call 800-547-6133 or visit emeraldqueen.com.
Hey, Brock Ewert here. For my friends at People Come First, you've heard me talk about them. PCF Construction Group. People come first. And if you've been dreaming of a new deck, well, now is the time to call PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule gets all filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor space year-round, no matter the weather. And for a limited time, get 50% off demolition costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. You know, they designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they take time. So don't wait another day. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at pcfgroup.com. That's pcfgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Sebastian's shoulder injury was dramatic.
I was snowboarding down a really steep hill. I hit a tree and went straight through it and came out the other side and had torn my shoulder up.
And the pain?
The pain level was probably at a 9 and the shock level was at about a 15.
I can imagine. It even affected the simplest things.
Couldn't even put the seatbelt on in my car.
Instead of surgery, he went to see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine for Stem Cell Therapy, the most experienced in the Northwest with over 20,000 stem cell procedures.
It's way better. I got much better mobility. It doesn't ache as much.
Do you recommend it to people who may be considering surgery?
Absolutely. I got a lot of faith in the way that the science is developing around it, and why not heal your body with your own body?
So whether it's a hip like I had or a shoulder, elbow, ankle, wrist, knee, whatever it is, before choosing surgery, go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. Go to drmarkwagnermd.com. That's drmarkwagnermd.com.
I'm Stacey Rost, and here with my friend Mark Clymer, GM of Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn. Mark, I know for me, when I go to a dealership, I just don't want to feel pushed into buying something.
Hey, I'm just like you, Stacey. I don't want to feel pressured when I'm trying to buy something either. So we understand that, and so do all of our employees. The bottom line is we'll give you the information that you want. We'll take care of you from beginning to end, and if it works out, great. If it doesn't, we understand. We only want to sell you a car if you want to buy one.
I think the thing that I want most is to be able to trust the person I'm working with. It's a huge investment, and I got to be honest, I don't know a ton about cars.
Second largest thing most people ever buy next to a home. So You're right. You want to make sure you're buying from a reputable place, you want a warranty, and you want to make sure you're covered for any reason you change your mind. And we offer that. 5 days or 500-mile, 100% money-back guarantee.
And congratulations on 104 years in Auburn. That's a big deal. Check out the 104th anniversary sale going on now with great prices. That's Wayscar Ford Isuzu in Auburn, wayscarford.com.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. Still here helping men with ED and Peyronie's disease in 2026. Our clinics have helped thousands of men in the last 8 years just like you. Most guys tell me that in their early 50s, they started using Viagra. It worked for 3 or 4 years and then tapered off. That's because Viagra is not a curative medication. It's a short-term solution. Our wave therapy breaks down the plaque in the arteries and increases blood flow without using any medication, with proven long-lasting results. Our treatments are so successful that we have some men driving up to 5 hours just to get treated every week, and our 4.9 average star rating on Google proves it. So whether it's ED, Peyronie's disease, or low testosterone, West Coast Men's Health has the answers you're looking for.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
Let's go! This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
The Mariners got a series win over the Rangers with the 5-2 win yesterday. Next up, they'll open one more series here at home, this one against the A's. Emerson Hancock on the mound for a 6:40 p.m. first pitch. Pregame show at 5:30 on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time. From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Bump, earlier in the show, we were going over, I like calling them Bumps guys. 5 guys that you really like for the Seahawks. Some of them would be a fit at 32. Others you might be able to find a little bit later, but it was just guys where you're like, look, I don't know if everyone's talking about them. Some names you're going to know, but these are just guys that make sense. So let's go over the first 4 quickly and then tell us the last one before we dive into how they can be a fit for Seattle. So let's go 1, 2, 3, 4, and then the last.
All right, first one was Chase Besantis, guard out of Texas, 6'5", 315 pounds, ran a 5'2", 40. Freshman All-American, played some tackle as a freshman. Sophomore year moved to guard. Heavy hands, lots of snaps. Very experienced football player. Quick feet. I asked Big Ray to look at this guy, and he agreed with my analysis. He said that his arms are short. So, that obviously short arms allows the defenders to get on you a bit quicker. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, he could see him as a fit in the league, and especially with the Seahawks, with the question that we have on offensive line. Number 2, Hakeem Misadora, DN out of Miami, 6'3", 280 pounds, a Canadian guy. All ACC offers, 17.5 TFLs last year, 5th in the country, 12.5 sacks, 4 forced fumbles, had 2 sacks in the national championship. He's coached by Jason Taylor. If you know Jason Taylor, Miami Dolphins, Hall of Famer. It makes sense why he has all these moves with his hands and feet and all that good stuff when he decides to attack. Played nose tackle at West Virginia as well, so just understands the big picture when it comes to the defensive line. That's going to help him. Next guy. I labeled him as a never say die guy. He just keeps going. Avion Terrell, DB out of Terrell. Sorry.
Brother of AJ. Is it AJ Terrell? It's one of them.
Yeah. AJ was drafted in the first round, but this young man is 5'10", 186, ran a 4.3. AP All-American, 8 forced fumbles is a program record. As a DB, you watch him play, he's getting down the hill with force and with purpose. He's disciplined when it comes to his assignment, but he knows when it's time to play football. You drop back, do your assignment, but now the ball's out. Let's go get him. He does exactly that. Very technical, and he's great at reading the wide receiver's body language. When the ball's up in the air, our eyes get big, our arms get choppy. He feels that if he's in phase, he's going to turn around. He's going to find that football. Number 4 is D'Angelo Pons, another DB out of Indiana, 5'8", about $180. Track speed kind of guy. Plays bigger than his size, had a 43-inch vert. He's a smart ball player. I pointed out a couple years ago, Indiana against Oregon, first play of the game. Oregon runs an RPO. He recognizes it, jumps on it, pick to the house. A very smart type of DB. Understands his size. He's not going to try to hit you high. He'll chop you down. Still plays aggressive. Really like that guy.
Okay, so now we're doing 2 things. We're getting to your 5th guy, and then I want to circle back and talk about why these guys are fits. How does this get you back to a Super Bowl? Why does this make sense? Why are these your guys? So who's your 5th guy? We haven't gone over this profile yet.
Last one. It's a position that isn't one of need, but I feel like if he's around late or later, the Hawks should take a look at him. Wide receiver, Elijah Surratt, out of Indiana, 6'2", 210, ran a 4.340, 830 yards last year, 15 touchdowns. He is the epitome of body control. When you're 6'2", 6'3", 210, you got to have body control. He makes the great catches. Almost sometimes he has to make the great catch because he's not going to get a lot of separation running at 4.53 at 6'2", 6'3". He is going to shine in intermediate routes. So anywhere between 5 to 15 yards in the middle of the field, he's going to shine. And I'll just jump right into him, why I think he would be a good fit for the Seahawks. Because you have the guy who does everything in JSN. You have the guy who's going to take you up top in Rashid Shaheed. You have the Wari veteran who's going to do whatever you're asked or is asked of him in Cooper Kupp. You need that big body, or you could use that big body. Don't necessarily need that big body.
But like you don't have it.
Yeah, you just don't have it. Now, Cooper Kupp ain't small. He about 6'1", 6'2". But he's kind of I'm just going to do whatever coach asked me to do at this point in my career. You need a legit red zone target. With the emergence of A.J. Barner, who I think is still going to be an end zone, red zone target, it's nice to have that big quarterback outside. He don't have 15 touchdowns on accident. Mendoza knew what he was looking for when he got down there. You're going to go up and find your man, Surratt. So I think that he's just a different kind of receiver. You don't have this type of receiver on your roster. You can look at Jake Bobo and say, okay, they're about the same. Bobo was a bit slower than him, maybe a bit smaller than him. But I think that Elijah just possesses the ball skills, especially in the red zone, to help this defense. Now it's like 3rd and 6, 3rd and 8. You want to stretch the defense out, sit him underneath. He can do exactly that. You just don't have this on your roster at the receiver spot. Who knows if they go receiver or not? I don't think it's a necessity. But I think that if you get into the later rounds and this guy's around, he probably won't be. But if he is around, you're going to take a look at him.
So this is not a 32. This is like, I looked at 5 guys who I just like for this team.
Like him, yeah.
I think that you don't have, they bring you something you don't have, that they are at the very least at 32 or later. And so you could theoretically get them, and I really like them. Let's go all the way back up to Chase Basantis. You brought back 13 of 13 offensive linemen. Someone earlier said, well, wait a minute, you won a Super Bowl with this offensive line. Why do you need to add? But yet you still looked at the offensive line. Why?
Yeah, because you got to get better. I don't think you look at any position other than quarterback and say, he took you to the Super Bowl, you should be fine. No one's replacing Sam Darnold. He's good to go. No one's replacing JSN. But there were times where you felt like you could have gotten more out of this offensive line, even though they've gotten better. The right side has been an issue for a couple years now with a certain name over there. I still believe Anthony Bradford did get better, has gotten better, and you could bring a guy like Chase in, and Anthony Bradford could still win the job because when he is on, he is on. It's just those off plays in between that mix you up a little bit. So I think it's just a move that you bring in to compete, and because I don't think you look at this offensive line and it feels complete. I think they did what was needed to win a championship, to protect Sam for the most part. But we all know the games are won in the trenches, so why not try to get better at that spot?
All right, let's go to your second guy who is an edge. Now, I can understand the question of a sneaky position of need. That part I get. But why going with someone like Akeem Mizador out of Miami instead of we've seen lots of talk about TJ Parker out of Clemson has been mentioned a ton. Malachi Lawrence out of UCF was someone that's been mentioned. What really stood out about Akeem's tape?
At this point, Stacey, I've mentioned all those guys. That's why he stands out at this point.
It was about looking at someone else.
It's all right. I was looking at all my notes right now. On this show, to this day, I've talked about at least 25 to 30 players.
That's true.
Right? So it's all right, who
Let's
else
find
could be
someone
there?
Else.
Because you don't know how the draft goes.
Sure.
Someone could, pluck all the guys off the first few lists I've done, and you have a guy like him left, or vice versa. So it's another name for you to get to know. And even if he goes somewhere else, you heard about him, and you're familiar. But this is a guy who is ahead of the game when it comes to his technique. I think when you are in Miami and you're dealing with a teammate like Baines and a coach like Taylor, you have no choice but to step your game up. You just played in a national championship game. You had 2 sacks. You want a guy who can get after the quarterback. You lose, 4 to 6 sacks in Boye Mafe. You got to try to replace that. Uchenna's had problems when it comes to his health. Not his fault, but it's football. It happens like that. You want some depth there. Still waiting to see what happens with D-Law. But the body control of this guy, I really enjoy. I love seeing him close the space between him and the tackle and set up his many moves, It's like a receiver who always keeps a DB guessing. Like the rule is, if you have an outbreaking, is the basic rule, fundamentals of receivers, right? If you have an outbreaking route, you want to try to release outside, make life easy for you. The good ones can release inside and still get that position outside and break outside. That's who he is, all right, man, I probably shouldn't try to go inside here, but I'm so good, I can widen this tackle, then inside release him and still get to my spot. The versatility with his hands and his feet, I think, allow him to get after the quarterback. And I think that's something that I'm sure Mike McDonald wants to get better at. He coached a defense that had the most sacks in a season, right? Or at least top 2 with 60-something sacks, I believe.
Oh, for the Ravens, they were leading, yeah.
Yeah, so, yeah, he wants to get after the quarterback, and the way this dude sets things up and controls his body will help him do that.
I know that you have been banging the table for like, hey, Jadarian Price, answer the running back room, draft him if he's there, all for it. Yes. However, you did mention 2 defensive backs as part of this Bump Skies segment, and you have already had your eye on San Diego State's Chris Johnson.
Yep.
I feel like there's part of you, Bump, as much as Jadarian Price makes sense, that there's a sneaky part of Michael Bumpus that kind of wants a corner for Seattle.
I do, because whatever corner you bring in here is going to be helped out tremendously, not by the guys in his room, but the guys in the trenches, because you have just some dogs in the trenches, created some of the most pressures we've seen out of a Seahawks defense. And Kobe's out, Reek is out. You still got Job over there as well, obviously. You still got Spoon. Like, there's talent there, but I want this room just to be deep again, because when this room is deep, that means not only can you substitute guys in on the defensive side when guys are banged up or just need a breather, that means your special teams group is going to be on point too. Special teams are made up of DBs, LBs, tight ends, running backs, safeties. Like, you get receivers out there every now and then, but for the most part, these defensive guys make up special teams. And I think that after this year, if you don't realize it by now, especially after this year, you know special teams is important. I mean, you got a kick to the house by Rashid Shaheed the very first play of the game against the 49ers. You got big tackles being made defensively. You got Derek Young, when he was with the squad, making big plays. Like, special teams is huge. I think we saw this year. So not only would a guy like Avion Terrell help out in this DB room, I think he'd help on special teams to start. And the fact that he has created 8 forced fumbles, yeah, you want that type of guy. He's a physical type of guy who's doing it intentionally. It's not by accident.
It's not like the league doesn't know that Seattle could use some running back depth. Why are we seeing so many people, like the names that you just mentioned, like a bunch of analysts, really like a corner for Seattle? Like, is it just a good pool of talent right there?
I think it is. I think it's both. I think it's a pool of talent, and it's trying to replace something. And you don't know what you got till it's gone at times. And Rick Woolen did have his mishaps, but I think overall he's one of the top 10, 12 DBs in the game. So you have to replace that. I mentioned during 4-down territory that this gives Nehemiah Pritchett an opportunity to get more reps. There's a reason why Nehemiah has been like a 2 or a 3, because he hasn't been able to get over the hump or pass these guys up. So, yes, you give him an avenue to be that guy, but why not just restock and get yourself a DB or 2 if available, if there's a guy you like, and make sure the back end is taken care of, because we know the guys up front are going to create that pressure.
Yeah, I've just been I went from being completely sold on it's going to be Jadarian Price at 32, assuming he's still there, and most people are assuming that, to being like, man, a lot of people talking about a corner to Seattle at 32. Like, that is becoming not just a sexy pick, but like genuinely something that people are like, this is the right move. Like, the talent, the cornerback talent that you'll have at 32 is probably going to be a better prospect than Price or whatever, whoever's after Price.
It's going to be better than any running back that's left.
Yeah.
You might have an edge guy left that you can look at. I think it'll be better than most offensive linemen that are available. It's deep. We talk about how deep the receiver classes this year. I think the DB class is just as deep.
Well, and like, that's what makes me go over that, like, best available versus need. It certainly feels like the Seahawks are going to turn to the draft to add to that running back room, given that they didn't sign big names in free agency. But I don't know, man, if at 32, despite you really needing some depth in that, I think, I don't know that John Schneider feels that they really do, but I think they could stand to add a running back in this class. And the drop off between Price and the next closest guy is pretty massive. I don't know. I mean, maybe they see someone there that they think, like, this guy could be a starting corner for us.
Maybe. And that's the thing. He doesn't have to be, because I think you have guys who you would slot in right now and feel okay about the situation. But if you can find one, you're good. I want to throw a bonus name in there, maybe an honorable mention guy that I like, that I was just reminded of when I'm looking at these names.
You have so many notes.
Yeah. Let me pull them up real quick. His name is Kieran Crawford. Kieran Crawford, 6'5", 6'4", 253 pounds, out of Auburn. He's an edge guy. And what I like about this dude is he has good flexibility in the hips. First off, 36 tackles, 5 sacks, and 1 interception. Good flexibility in his hips and his ankles. He has good initial pop with his hands, and I say can bend the block. I mean, because when you're on that edge, you're literally bending your body at a 45 or less degree angle and keeping force. And with that, I mean, if you pause your favorite pass rusher, go to Myles Garrett or whatnot, if you pause him at the point of contact, when that tackle has his hand on his shoulder pads and he's bending, like the angles on his ankle and his hips are crazy. The flexibility with these guys are absolutely nuts. I really like this dude. He is a SEC type of player, and those guys, I'm not saying you can't find them anywhere. Big Ten runs college sports right now anyway. So, but the SEC type of players, they're big or used to playing in these big games, these big environments. And the bigger the game, the faster and harder this guy plays. So I don't think he'd be overwhelmed initially if he were to get picked up.
Right now, just before we get to headline rewrites, does your gut tell you picks in at 32, it's defense?
If it's not Jadarian, it's defense. Or they trade back. Who knows, Stacey?
I know, but right now, if they were like, okay, pick is in for Seattle, I feel like my gut tells me it's defense. I've seen so many defenders mock.
Yeah, I lean on if it's not Price, I lean defense.
Yeah. Let's get to headline rewrites.
Extra, extra, read all about it.
Headline rewrites.
We must make headlines.
The real story behind the headlines in today's news.
Powered by Bay Alarm Security Services.
With Bump and Stacy.
Headline number 1, the Bengals sent the number 10 overall pick in the draft to the Giants in exchange for Dexter Lawrence. What's the real headline?
Man, think of what the Bengals defense could look like if they also added someone like Trey Hendrickson.
Yeah, that was a tough one for me, because I get why they let him go because of where he is and his injury history as of late. And they possibly felt like they could find someone in the draft. But when you have an opportunity like this to get Dexter Lawrence, I think you got to swing at it. Number 10 pick overall. That's the only thing that's a little scary to me, is because he is 28, 29 years of age, still a young man in life. At his position, he's getting there. So you're banking on the next 2 to 3 seasons, him really going out there and producing at a high clip, which I think he can.
Yeah.
So good for the Bengals. Makes their quarterback happy.
From, I think Ian Rappaport is where I initially saw this. Then it kind of made the rounds. First time since 1989 that the Bengals haven't used their first-round pick.
Dang.
They're kind of a conservative franchise, which I'm sure they are needing to challenge at the period that they're in right now. I know you talked about it in 4-down territory, but like, this is the best quarterback that you've had and the best wide receiver duo.
Yeah.
You have to take advantage of this trio. You cannot have a year like you did before last, not last year, but before last, where your offense looks MVP caliber and then your defense is holding you back. Like it's the equivalent of the Mariners 2024, where it's like the arms are so good, but you learn like, oh, it's not enough. It's not enough.
Need help.
You need to be more well-rounded. Maybe they do it this year. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline number 2, Adam Schefter reports the Eagles are expected to trade A.J. Brown to the Patriots after June 1st. What's the real headline?
I wonder where Schefter got that intel from.
Hey, Schefter got connections like no other. I would love to see how he built his Rolodex, his contacts or whatnot. But because of what's happened across the league this past, couple weeks, everyone's in question. You're thinking about, all right, well, does everyone move with complete integrity? And I would go out on a limb and say no, everyone doesn't move with complete integrity, because everyone's trying to be the Schefter. Everyone's trying to be the person who gets the news first and who breaks it, who people turn to for that information. But Schefter, there's nothing on him, and I'm not going to assume anything, but he is the head honcho when it comes to breaking news.
In terms of the A.J. Brown trade itself, the Patriots had been a favorite landing spot for a while now, and they were for basically any unhappy wide receiver for forever, because they clearly needed some wide receiver help. Bump, that makes their offense better. But the Patriots, and look, no disrespect, far be it from me to disrespect a team from Boston. But they also had the league's easiest schedule in like a very historical way. Like you had a 4th place schedule. You were playing horrible teams. Like they're going to need more than just a great wide receiver to get back.
Lamar was out for a few. Mahomes was out.
Right?
This was the year for someone other than the Bills, the Chiefs, and the Ravens to be in the mix to go and do their thing.
A blizzard was on your side in the AFC Championship
Beautiful
game.
in the first half. Second half rolls around.
Great. You took a lead and it was a blizzard.
Yeah, it's wild. Yeah, they're gonna need. You're not gonna have the easy schedule that they had. But what does a receiver do? It does help out your quarterback. Your quarterback who was seeing ghosts, ironically, against Sam Darnold in this the Seahawks defense in the Super Bowl. So A.J. Brown is special. He makes that receiving room better. But to see how Vrabel does with a tougher schedule.
I'm very curious to see A.J. Brown just with a different quarterback. Because I don't think people make him seem like he's just this like very malignant part of a locker room. I think he's probably genuinely unhappy, I would imagine, with a quarterback that he would like to get downfield a little more often.
Yeah.
Drake May does, man. More than almost anyone else last year.
Yeah, Drake will toss it up.
You know? Curious to see what that looks like. What's next?
Headline rewrites.
Headline 3, NFL Network reports the Steelers still haven't heard from Aaron Rodgers about his 2026 plans, and they don't expect a final decision prior to this week's draft. What's the real headline?
Pittsburgh hasn't heard from Aaron Rodgers. They really are like family.
He's waiting on them to call. He says, I read somewhere, I haven't gotten an offer yet. Like, all right, well, you got to meet him in the middle somewhere. But Pittsburgh, they're in a weird spot. You got a new head coach. You have Will Howard on the roster, who I liked out of Ohio State initially. I think that if they don't get Aaron Rodgers, you would expect Will to get the nod as of now. Maybe they get into the draft. Ty Simpson has been connected to them as well. You got Mason Rudolph over there. It's just weird because for 15 to 20 years, you knew what you're going to get out of the Pittsburgh Steelers. A defense that was going to be at least mediocre, a team that was going to be disciplined, a head coach that was going to find a way to win ball games. Now, everything's in question. Like, what's the culture going to be? Now, who's your quarterback? Is DK going to be happy with the quarterback? Because, if he ain't happy, there's going to be some problems over there. It's unfamiliar territory for Pittsburgh fans. They've been so consistent over the duration of the NFL's history.
So Pittsburgh's sitting at 21 in the first round. If they trade up, let's say we don't hear about Rodgers in Pittsburgh at all for the next several days. So Thursday rolls around, it's night 1 of the draft. You're on coverage, and we hear that Pittsburgh not only takes Ty Simpson but trades up to take him. Does that kind of tell us everything we need to know, or is the door to Rodgers being there still open?
I think it's still open because at least it would be open for me if I were in charge over there, because I want my QB to sit as long as he can. If it's 2 weeks, 2 months to a year, I want him to sit. I want him to learn. But sometimes you're forced to throw your guy out there. So no, if they were to move up and get Ty, I still think that Aaron would be in the mix. The real question is, how would Aaron feel about them moving up to get a quarterback, knowing that you only got maybe a year or two left?
I was going to say, if you're Aaron, you can't even be that upset. Not only are you not talking to them yet this offseason and not figuring out a new deal, but what are you going to do? Come back, play 1 year, and then go okay, now you can find an answer. I don't know. I mean, the 27 class for quarterbacks is going to be better, but Dan Orlovsky is a fan of Ty Simpson.
Oh, he loves him.
Loves Ty
I understand
Simpson.
why. I think.
What do you like about Ty?
He makes tough throws. He did a lot with a little over there. He did not have a running game to lean on. He made it happen. He's good outside the pocket. The arm talent is there.
Yeah.
Makes good decisions for the most part. Doesn't put the ball in harm's way. All the stuff that you want out of a quarterback. I think that if Alabama made a real run at this, then maybe he'd get a bit more love.
Could he be an answer for a team, or is it more of roll the dice and see what happens? No one's assuming he's the starter. It feels like there's one franchise guy that's going at number 1 overall to the Raiders, and then maybe no one else?
No, I think he can be a franchise guy.
Okay. Well, now I'm very
Of course,
curious.
Mendoza is.
Yeah.
Well,
he kind of has to be.
Yeah.
Take him at number 1. By the way, coming up in 4 Down Territory 115, you have some interesting stats about quarterbacks taken at number 1 overall. You are listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports and the Seattle Sports app. Speaking of, make sure you download the Seattle Sports app to listen to every single game. One app completely free. Did I mention it's free? You can take the Mariners with you when you're on the go, when you're out running errands, at Little League practice, on a hike, on the boat, wherever. The Seattle Sports app travels with you. You can enjoy every pitch of Rick Riz's final season all in one place at no cost. It is the easiest way to enjoy Seattle Mariners baseball. Taking a look around the NFL next.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
The Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
the work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Thursday, only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Ewert, Michael Bumpus, Steve Weib, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Happy birthday, Silver Reef Casino Resort. This month marks 24 years, one more year, and they'll be able to rent a car. All jokes aside, Silver Reef Casino Resort is actually pretty new in the grand scheme of things. And if you've been there, you know what to expect. If you haven't, make this month, go down there and just get her done. They're having celebrations all month long, too, to celebrate 24 years of fun, relaxation, entertainment, and good food. Speaking of good food, my personal favorite is the steakhouse. Go on and treat yourself. Make a reservation online. Why not make a weekend out of it? It's going to be 60 degrees. There's long days. It's been beautiful. Get out on the golf course. Loomis Trails is a hidden gem, one of the best public courses in the entire state. Lastly, remember the celebrations I was talking about. Roads to Riches all month long, capped on the 25th of this month, where you can win a 2026 Mercedes-Benz GLC 300 all-wheel drive. They got golf. They got promotions. Go out there, hop on I-5 exit 260, Silver Reef Casino Resort, silverreefcasino.com.
Well, there's nothing I hate worse than being cold. And if your house is feeling a bit drafty or the floors of the main level are way too cold on your feet, that's probably because your crawl space and attic don't have enough insulation. It's probably making your furnace work overtime. So now you're spending more money as well. Well, how about a free and easy way to learn if you need better insulation? Just schedule a free corner-to-corner inspection of your crawl space and attic with Crawl Pros. It's exactly what I did. They'll show up to your house. They'll go where you don't want to, certainly where I didn't want to, and they'll tell you if you got any problems with your crawl space, your attic, and especially your insulation. If they do discover your home is under or improperly insulated, they'll show you all the utility rebates as well to help you get that work done correctly and affordably. If you're a PSE customer and your home was built before 1990, you could receive a rebate to cover up to 95% of the cost. Make your home more comfortable. Save on your energy bill with Crawl Pros. If you're worried that anything's going on in your crawl space or attic, critters, mold, water, plumbing issues, call Crawl Pros or go to crawlpros.com.
Hour and a half drive here to have fun here for 8 to 9 hours a day versus if it's the other way around, then I'll take it.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
Do you need a new roof? Then trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing to get you taken care of this spring. Schedule your free estimate at 3treeroofing.com and secure $500 off your roof replacement. Right now, you can still take advantage of spring pricing and beat the summer rush. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
My name is Christine, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, was a healthy 34-year-old, and 3 months later, he was gone. Thankfully, he had life insurance. Ethos made it so easy. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. 100% online, no medical exam. Life insurance didn't take away the loss, but it did give us the space to just grieve.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/game. ethos.com/game. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
Mariners and A's tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
Ryan Reynolds here from Mint Mobile with a message for everyone paying big wireless way too much. Please, for the love of everything good in this world, stop. With Mint, you can get premium wireless for just $15 a month. Of course, if you enjoy overpaying, no judgments, but that's weird. Okay, one judgment.
Visit mintmobile.com/radio.
Upfront payment of $45 for 3-month plan, equivalent to $15 per month required. Intro rate first 3 months only, then full price plan options available. Taxes and fees extra. See full terms at mintmobile.com.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
Meet the company electrifying the marine industry. ARC, a fully electric boat that feels like a luxury EV. Significantly less maintenance and service, ARC is built to be as easy to operate as it is to maintain. Featuring heated seats and seat backs, a large display, easy handling, and impressive kick. You have to see it and experience ARC for yourself. Book a demo. They'll pick you up on Lake Washington, Lake Union, or Lake Sammamish if you can't come to them in Kirkland. Go to arcboats.com/demo. ARC. You have to see it to believe it.
Hey, it's Dave Wyman for Bellevue Rare Coins, and I'm really excited to be working with them again as we're seeing the price of gold at all-time highs. And here's what that means for you. Items you haven't thought about in years can be worth thousands of dollars. Old jewelry, coin collections, gold watches, necklaces, and pendants. And a lot of people don't realize how valuable these items are. And right now, it's worth finding out. Find Bellevue Rare Coins in Bellevue, Linwood, Issaquah, and Tacoma, or go to BellevueRareCoins.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bad news for the rest of the NFC West. The 49ers and Trent Williams were able to rework his deal that'll keep him in San Francisco. Williams will receive a 2-year, $50 million extension with $37 million fully guaranteed. Certainly feels like a must-win right now, please do it window for San Francisco. A lot of aging stars here. Still good for a year.
49er fans, this is it. This is it. You got 1, maybe 2 more years of going into the season thinking that you can get it done. But starts here with Trent Williams. Still one of the best tackles in the game. That is his older age in the NFL, plus 35, 36. So they had to get this done. You let him step, you don't find a replacement for him, at least not now. So maybe they go into this draft and start thinking like that.
Let's get back to the big news from this morning Adam Schefter had about A.J. Brown. He said the Eagles may be cooking up another big move separate from an A.J. Brown trade.
That may just be the start for the Eagles because A.J. Brown obviously is waiting to happen. But the Eagles always have a trick or two up their sleeve. Now, they had spoken to the Vikings about Jonathan Grenard, the pass rusher. Those talks have lost steam. I'm not so sure that trade is going to happen. But I think there are a handful of other scenarios that the Eagles have in mind, and it wouldn't be surprising to see them pull off another trade outside the A.J. Brown trade that will not happen this week and until June 1st, heading into the draft this week.
What does it mean, Adam? Okay, so not only could we we likely see, it sounds like to Adam, A.J. Brown be dealt to the Patriots after June 1st, but we may see another move. Does that mean coming or going? Does that mean acquiring a big blockbuster deal? Does it mean sending someone else away? What does it mean, Adam?
It means all of you should look at my X feed constantly. Click on everything that I put out there and just check in with us. He does a good job of keeping us interested.
I have notifications on for sure.
Yep.
If you're the Patriots, draft's coming up. You're not going to have A.J. Brown. Again, this is going to be post-June 1st. Do you operate as though A.J. Brown is not part of your team? Meaning, do you still draft wide receiver help? Because that deal isn't done.
It's not done, but we're assuming it's going to get done.
Yeah.
I think you move as if. I think that the way the last 2 years have kind of panned out with the Eagles, even though they have won a Super Bowl, is that A.J. clearly isn't happy there. And those type of players, you can be unhappy and be a bench player and you deal with it. You're unhappy, you're a star player with influence, you're in the locker room, you're talking to the media. It messes up the culture that you're trying to build, even though the coach is a bit rugged over there. No, I think you move as if AJ's not going to be here, and you find yourself a receiver.
Curious what their first pick is going to be. Draft prospect, I don't know if you guys saw this story. Draft prospect Georgia wide receiver Zachariah Branch was arrested over the weekend. It was on misdemeanor charges of obstructing public sidewalks, prowling, and obstruction of a law enforcement officer. Here's what actually happened. Ian Rappaport posted this excerpt from the report. A male later identified as Zachariah Branch continued to stand on the sidewalk without making an attempt to move. The officer in this case, continued to give Branch verbal commands to move from blocking the sidewalk and advised that if he did not, he would receive a citation for blocking the sidewalk. He smirked, then stepped backwards and to the right, then remained standing upon the public sidewalk so as to obstruct, hinder, and impede free passage upon the sidewalk. Due to those actions and his failure to comply, he was placed under arrest for misdemeanor obstruction of a law enforcement officer and received a citation. I saw someone else tweet this. It's not my take. They were like, this might be the first time a prospect was arrested and it helped his draft stock. Because literally no one is looking at him thinking he's a problem.
Here's the thing. I just need more detail. What's the whole situation? Is it like after a party or something and you're trying to get people through? What was the tone of the officer? Did the officer just not like the way that Zachariah looked at him? Like, there are so many questions I have about this situation that I'm not going to get.
Yeah.
But it doesn't sound like he's just a bad dude.
No. Now, we only have, I couldn't find the police report, so I just have the excerpt from Pellicero. It sounds as though, like, he still stepped backwards and to the right. Okay, so he has at least given up part of the sidewalk to you. But he remained on the sidewalk and was smirking, so you didn't like his attitude. That's the early impression I get from this report, which is not reason enough to arrest someone, in my opinion. I'm no cop. You know, I don't have to deal with it. But like, I'm just saying, it sounds as though you don't like the attitude of someone who's not moving enough, which feels like, I don't know, excessive.
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I'm saying. I need the body cam.
Yeah.
I need more reports because it's not adding up to me right now.
Wild story from over the weekend, by the way. 37-year-old AJ Green, who retired from the NFL in 2023, says that Mike McDonald once reached out to him about playing again.
I talk to my coach all the time, Sean Jefferson. He's a coach at the Jets right now. And he was like, he still got in it. Mike McDonald at Seahawks, he wanted me to come out. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I love to watch.
So for a minute, we were wondering pre-show, you know, AJ is 37 years old. Was this Mike McDonald asking him to, like, as a special assistant, come help the team? Or is it asking him, hey, come catch the rock? We're going to a Super Bowl.
I wonder when this was. Was it before the trade deadline?
It had to be
Rashid?
One of the last 2 years. Oh,
maybe
yeah, maybe
before
season?
Rashid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's interesting. If you're sitting down for 2 years, 3 years as a football player, man, you're not in no kind of shape just to hop off the couch and go. Not to say you're in bad shape, but you're not in football type of shape. One of the legends that you guys know around here, I won't say his name, but he's in good shape. He told me he went out and played wiffle ball with his kids, opened up that stride and hurt himself. And this dude's in good shape. Like, you're not, but if you're not in football shape, it's something different.
Could we pay you? Would you get hurt playing an NFL game right now if you had to go out there this Sunday?
Yes. I'm hurt. I'm not getting up.
After the first snap, you're signaling to a coach.
Trying to twitch like that at this age, and I'm not in bad shape.
Yeah.
I'm not in football shape, though. Ain't no way.
I do think people underestimate, and it's not to be disrespectful, but like the level of athleticism, it's not just imagine the most fit person you know. It's the most fit person you know that needs to get in football shape.
Yeah.
It's very different.
You can look good on, like, having muscles and stuff is being good on paper. Like, oh, you're good on paper.
Yeah.
But get in the trenches now.
The Cowboys and kicker Brandon Audrey agreed to a record-setting extension earlier today that made him the highest-paid kicker in NFL history. He becomes the first kicker to make $7 million or more a year.
That is crazy.
Pay kickers. I've always said that.
That is crazy. I mean, he's the best in the game, but $7 million.
There's not enough money to go around like that.
All you soccer players out there, learn to kick the weird-shaped ball.
Yeah, make $7 million a year.
Come on.
This is if you're not in the Premier League. make a little bit more.
Yeah. You got Premier League, you go there.
But you know what I'm saying? If you're just...
Now, if you're MLS, you know, they don't get paid $7 million
depending
a year.
on which team, yeah. Then you got to maybe become an NFL kicker. Fernando Mendoza was a guest on the Rich Eisen show and shared why he's choosing to stay at home during the draft.
Pittsburgh is a great opportunity, and it's a great venue. And I'm really excited to see all the guys, or most of the guys, walk across the stage on Thursday night. It's be a dream for a lot of guys. However, my mom really wanted to do it at home, and so do my parents. It's a lot easier for us, especially with, the family situation. And you have to hop on a plane the next morning anyways. And for that travel, it'd be a lot easier to stay at home. I wanted to stay and make the memory with everybody who poured into my football journey. Mentors, coaches, family, friends. You want to share that moment with all of them is going to be the best memory that I can make, rather than limiting it to 10 or 12 people in Pittsburgh, which is going to be great. And I still want to be the best league partner I can become and make sure that there's many cameras that ESPN wants there or whatever they need from me, I will do. However, I think it's very important to start off this journey with everyone who's gotten me to this point.
He's a really interesting person. First of all, great reasoning. Totally fine with it. I find him a fascinating personality for press conferences because I think it's going to simultaneously drive some people crazy and other people are going to adore it.
I'm going to do both because he did both for me in that answer.
Where you liked it.
At
and
first
then
it was like, it's about his mom. His mom has MS.
Yes.
She's in a wheelchair. That makes sense. You know what I mean? And then he flipped into the politician, like family, like coaches, people. Like his even tone changed a bit. Grant, I'm not saying he don't mean that, but the first part of it felt like, all right, that's the reason right there. But then he knows that, or he feels that he needs to include everybody else, which is fine. So I got a little bit of both. I'm not a Mendoza hater. He's just he is intriguing to me. Like I've never been around anyone who operates the way he operates. So I'm so intently listening to everything that he says. Whereas if Aaron Rodgers got up there, it'd go one ear out the other, and I'll pick up what I can.
I think he's someone that some people think is not him. It's a personality type some people assume is insincere that I think is very genuine, and people aren't quite sure what to do with someone who's that earnest, I think. Like it seems like genuinely how he is.
I think that's how he is, but I think he knows what he's doing at the same time.
Seahawks pre-draft press conferences coming your way in the 1 p.m. hour. We're going to have a chance to hear from Mike McDonald and John Schneider. Before we get to that bump, I saw something that's going to make you mad.
Perfect.
That's next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing they could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
When I'm catching up with friends or family, C-Star Restaurant and Raw Bar in Bellevue, it's where we go. A welcoming atmosphere, and I get to see my good friend, Chef John Howie.
Hey, thanks, Brock. At C-Star, we're known for fresh local seafood, unmatched hospitality, and great value. Right now, enjoy a 3-course dinner in the lounge every night, starting at just $50.
$50. You cannot beat that value these days, and it's only with Chef John Howie at CStarRestaurant.com, CStarRestaurant.com.
Mark your calendars. April 25th is Snohomish PUD's Energy Block Party, and you're invited. Bring the whole family for a day packed with hands-on fun. Check out the Truck Stravaganza, where kids can get up close to big PUD rigs and first responder vehicles. It's free, it's fun, and it's all happening on April 25th at PUD headquarters in Everett. Visit snowpud.com/Energy Block Party.
Hey, Mike Salk here with Dr. Coogan from Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. And Doc, what do you say to people who are considering those GLP-1 injections for weight loss?
Before you start, ask yourself this. Are you prepared to spend $3,000 to $5,000 per year and stay on the medications long-term to maintain the results? Many prescription weight loss injections require weekly shots, and when the medication is stopped, weight gain is common. And most people don't realize research shows a significant portion of the weight lost can come from muscle, which may slow your metabolism and make keeping the weight off even harder.
From personal experience, I can tell you Eastside Weight Loss Clinic takes a different approach, a doctor-developed program helping people lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days.
No injections, no synthetic hormones, no long-term dependence. Instead, we use real food to reset your metabolism, control hunger, and cravings naturally.
So come to their clinic in Kirkland or do the program from anywhere you live with easy remote options. If you want a safe, affordable alternative to weight loss injections,
go to eastsideweightlossclinic.com wesleyfinancialclinic.com to keep the weight off for good.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm, and Chuck McDowell definitely not an attorney. This is Chuck. If someone talked you into buying something really silly and you want to get out of that silly little thing, my advice, get the facts. Call me and I'll send you our timeshare exit kit absolutely free. Inside, you'll learn how timeshare works and all your options for cancellation.
Call Wesley now for your free exit info kit. 800-290-7100. That's 800-290-7100.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Mariners, Seahawks, Sounders, Kraken, Storm, Huskies, Cougars, Rain. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats. The Seattle Times is always there with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis. Don't miss a play. Stay in the game and in the know for what's next. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
The Puyallup RV Show is back April 30th through May 3rd. Check out all the new models from 15 overstocked dealers. Kids and parking always free. PuyalluPRVShow.com.
No matter how old you get, you always remember that one great teacher. Hi, this is Rick Riz, inviting you to join WSECU in celebrating Teacher of the Week. Great teachers inspire. Nominate a teacher you feel has changed a life in our community. This year, we're going to honor 24 great teachers with grants of $500, courtesy of WSECU, the credit union for Washington. Teachers are the real MVPs. Nominate an exceptional teacher now at mynorthwest.com/teacher.
If you're building decks in Puget Sound this season, you need materials you can trust and a supplier who delivers. Par Lumber carries premium TimberTech and Trex composite decking, railing, and accessories contractors depend on across the Northwest. With reliable job site delivery, we keep your projects moving so you can keep building. Right now, get 20% off deck railing and lighting with any TimberTech or Trex deck board purchase for a limited time only at Par. Visit par.com/decking to learn more. Par, where the builders go.
Imagine all that could happen in 5 years. Jobs may change, kids will grow, new memes will come out, but also, what if you had reliable, intelligent Wi-Fi and the price didn't change for 5 years? Well, thanks to the Xfinity 5-year price guarantee, you actually don't have to worry about that part of your future. You're guaranteed 5 years of Wi-Fi that boosts speeds to your devices that need them the most, that finds and fixes any issues before you even notice them. It's like a super intelligent Wi-Fi that keeps you protected from threats online, all with our best equipment with no annual contracts, no fees, and no strings. So even though the kids will grow up and you still won't understand 6-7, your internet will stay sharp, reliable, and most importantly, the price will stay put. 5 years. Same internet price. Lock in reliable, fiber-powered gig Wi-Fi for effortless streaming. Plus get the Disney Plus, Hulu bundle, and Peacock Premium included on us. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. Peacock Premium included for 3 years. Programming subject to change and availability. Actual speeds vary. Xfinity Internet is powered by fiber and connected to the premises by coaxial cable.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump and Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Bump. About an hour ago, you profiled 5 players that you liked for Seattle. We called them Bumps guys. Now, you've talked about like 40 dudes leading into the draft, but you wanted to look at 5 that you're like, I haven't talked enough about these guys, but they could be a real fit. I could see Seattle going for them. And you led off with offensive lineman Chase Basantis.
What?
Chris Sims just posted his first and only mock draft.
Stop it.
Coming in at number 32 for the Seattle Seahawks. Guard Chase Basantis. Now, Chris Sims did not take this from our show.
No.
But one of my favorite running bits is that Bump will talk about liking a guy, and then we'll see like a million outlets talk about it after, and you'll be like, come on!
I just don't have the platform they have, you know what I mean?
Come on!
I just don't have it. But it's all good. I mean, it means that I might be on to something there.
Well, so that's what I wanted to talk about. We're going to jump into those pre-draft press conferences coming up in the 1 p.m. hour. Sometimes I still almost say John and Pete. Mike and John scheduled to speak with reporters. We'll take you guys there live the second we hear them. But before then, I did want to talk about this because it was actually when you said it one of the first times that I had heard Basantis mock to, I hope I'm saying his name right, mock to Seattle. I think just so many people are like, oh, Ken Walker's gone, Jadarian Price. Or like, oh, you lost Kobe Bryant, Enrique Woolen, Colton Hood. Whoever. Chris Johnson was actually one of those names that you talked about that then I started hearing about a ton. But going offensive line at 32 is really interesting because I don't think we're talking about it collectively, I don't think we're talking about that enough when it comes to Seattle. I'm telling you that if the pick is in and it's a guard at 32 for Seattle, it is not a bad thing, but it says something.
No, it's not a bad thing. It says, to me, it would say that there are no edge rushers that they have, that are available, that they have ranked that high. It would tell me that Price is not on the board. It would tell me that they think that they can get another edge later on or a DB later on in the draft, but that this guy can come in and compete for a starting spot right now. And those are the kind of guys you want at 32 anyway. 32 is such a weird number to pick because obviously you're so close to the second round, and you don't expect that type of production out of second rounders unless you get the jackpot and you get a guy like Nicky Morari. So going off of what they did last year, picking or moving up at 34, 33 to get Nicky Morari, if they were to go after Chase at 32, they think he's a starting caliber type of guard and can come in and fight for a job.
The question that we were asking for that segment is, does it get them closer to a Super Bowl? Is this adding depth? If you're a first-round pick, it's not just depth. It's you're competing with Anthony Bradford is what that is.
Yeah, you're pushing him. I think it's a win-win, or it could be a win-win. You could draft that young man, and he comes in and competes with Anthony Bradford. Anthony feels that pressure and steps up and corrects a lot of his wrongs and just continues to develop. I don't think anyone's a finished product in this league until you're like year 7 or 6 or something like that. If you get there, if you're lucky enough to get there. If Anthony Bradford loses that battle, then you might have just found somebody that you could put in that slot for the next 2 to 3 seasons. And that's how I look at position battles. Unless you get a deal like Jason has gotten where you're getting paid hundreds of millions of dollars. If you get a deal, you got 2 to 3 years to kind of hold it down, and then we'll see how things will work out from there. So this could be a win-win. If they do go that route, it could be a win-win.
Now, what's interesting about this mock from Chris Sims is he has Colton Hood, who has been mocked at times at 32 to Seattle, maybe a little bit earlier at like 30 to Miami. He's going at 12 overall to Dallas. He's got TJ Parker off the board, who's been a mock before, Akeem Mesidor off the board, who you just profiled. Still available in this theoretical mock would be Price. And that, to me, would be a really fascinating conversation about want versus need because this isn't really a need. You have guards. You're bringing back 13 of 13 offensive linemen coming back. But in this case, you would have not taken Jadarian Price and instead gone with the offensive line.
That's tough. If Price is there, you got to take him. You have to take him. I like the potential of that running back room. There's potential there. But right now, I don't see a 1,000-yard rusher. I think with Price, right now, I could see him get into the league and rushing for 1,000 off the rip.
What is it about him?
It's his big play. If you just compare like the college careers of all these guys, and I think Kenny McIntosh had himself obviously a good college career over there with Alabama. Georgia. He would be so mad at me if he ever beats Alabama.
Don't let him ever hear it. What if he's like a huge Bump and Stacy fan and he's like, not anymore?
All right. Over there with Georgia. I'm going to pull up his stats real quick. My man had 328-yard season, 829-yard season his senior year, 10 touchdowns. The thing that stuck out to me the most were the 505 yards out of the backfield on 43 receptions. He had a more balanced career. Mm-hmm. Price had a more explosive career. Price had some of the biggest runs in college football last year. So looking at Kenny's film when I did, coming out of Georgia, and looking at Price's film, Price is more of a durable, do-everything type of running back, whereas Kenny is your scat. Even though he's listed at 6'1", 210, like he's not a small guy, but his frame just looks differently. The way he plays is different than Jadarian Price.
He's been such a weird kind of pick for Seattle because he was really likable in his pre-draft press conference and really funny. So I remember people being kind of excited to be like, oh, what's it going to look like in camp? And then it just like never really clicked and never really became anything. And it was like, oh, well, he's, I can't remember, 6th rounder around there. So it's like, okay, well, day 3 guy, like, not going to be your starter, not when Ken's holding it down. And then you have Charbonnet as a 2nd rounder as well. So it wasn't shocking, but like, it just never quite hit. And then I think people wondered what his season could have looked like if he had just a little more time this year. And of course he gets hurt. ACL tear is done for the season, doesn't even get a 2025. So really curious to see what it's going to look like. But I think that it's not like he had taken off and then we're going to see him bounce back. It's like there's so many questions with him we still need answered. Yeah. But yeah, really interesting mock. I thought you would appreciate that, kind of in fitting with previous trends.
I ain't mad at
People are going to be like, oh, let's talk about an offensive lineman to Seattle at 32. We are going to stop doing as much of the talking and start doing some listening. Coming up in the 1 p.m. hour, Mike and John set to speak to reporters ahead of the draft.
You can stream every pitch of every inning of every game all season long. Oh, and it's completely free.
It's a tremendous catch.
Only on the Seattle Sports app. That's right. The free Seattle Sports app puts every single Mariners game right in the palm of your hand.
On a platter, come and get it.
One app, every game. Plus the latest Mariners news, insider access, video, and podcast.
Holy smokes, what a play.
Pretty awesome, right? Just like the Mariners.
We've all been there, sleepless nights, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy knowing we're here for you. BayAlarm.com.
Hey, Brock Hewitt here for my friends at People Come First. You've heard me talk about them. PCF Construction Group. People come first. And if you've been dreaming of a new deck, well, now is the time to call PCF before the good weather arrives and their schedule gets all filled up. With a new deck, patio cover, heater, and fireplace from PCF, you can enjoy your outdoor space year-round, no matter the weather. And for a limited time, get 50% off demolition costs. That's up to $5,000 when you book your project with PCF. Contact People Come First Construction Group for all the details. They designed and built our outdoor living space, and we loved it. Start planning and designing your dream deck now so you're ready to build this summer. Planning, permitting, construction, they take time. So don't wait another day. Get started today. Get project ideas, browse their amazing photos, and find all the offer details at PCFgroup.com. That's PCFgroup.com.
Making your outdoor space with People Come First.
Have a troublesome tree in need of removal? P&D Tree Service is up to the task. Local experts in tree removal for residential and commercial. If it's 1 tree or 15 trees, close quarters or land clearing, call P&D Tree. They'll get the job done safely and quickly, turning multi-day jobs into a few hours, saving you time and money. They'll clear trees away from homes to help you save on home insurance. They specialize in large tree removal. Ever see a tree removed by crane? PNDTreeservice.com.
T-Mobile has an exclusive bundle for customers 55 and up.
I'm Sarah Bowl.
Yeah, I'm Frank Bowl.
A reliable network is key for us. And with T-Mobile, it's been wonderful. And going to the 55 plus plan saved us so much money.
A lot.
And that's important. Trying to keep costs down. The home internet's been perfect. It's fast, it's quick. The setup was so easy, it took less than 15 minutes.
It was like, ta-da! If you want simplicity, coverage, reliability, you want the whole package, T-Mobile has it. Right now, T-Mobile customers 55 and up can get 2 phone lines on America's best network, plus America's fastest 5G home internet for just $30 each.
$30 per month each line with autopay plus taxes and fees. Minimum age 55. Pricing for home internet rely on 2 lines of essentials. Choice 55. $35 connection charge per line required. Best mobile network and fastest 5G home internet based on analysis by Ookla of Speed Test Intelligence data 2H 2025. All rights reserved.
Trust is everything. Earning it takes years. Losing it takes 5 seconds.
Lee Johnson Auto Family.
Indeed presents hires you can't afford to get wrong, like a staff accountant at the height of tax season.
Congrats. Looks like the company owes, $50 in taxes. How about that?
That seems low. Why only 50?
Why do you care so much? It's not your money.
This is the job for sponsored jobs. This is what happens when you don't sponsor your job on Indeed. Next time, get matched with quality candidates with Indeed sponsored jobs. Visit Indeed.com/hire now and sponsor your job today.
Hey, it's Rich Eisen for Pella Windows and Doors. Sometimes teams take a timeout to regroup and call the right play. When it comes to your home, Pella Windows and Doors always has the winning game plan. They're not just window and door experts. They're experts at taking care of you and your home. At Pella, they find the products that meet your needs and their experts install them. They do it every day, and that's why your neighbors trust them. Discover why Pella is a trusted choice for homeowners everywhere. Visit Pella.com/Eisen today. That's Pella.com/Eisen.
This is for all you guys on Viagra. ED pills are no longer needed. The brutal side effects like 4-hour headaches, blurred vision, and that flush feeling can all be put behind you with our treatment. Here at West Coast Men's Health, we have a better approach to ED. Acoustic wave therapy creates blood flow circulation by safely removing the plaque in your arteries and restoring function naturally. Guys, let me be clear. Pills will never fix your problem. Our equipment is the latest technology, and our medical staff is the best in the industry. So give West Coast Men's Health a call today. Speak with our clinic manager. Ask him any question you like, how it works, the science behind it, and even the cost. If you suffer from ED or Peyronie's disease, give West Coast Men's Health a call today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy. With clinics in Redmond and Tacoma, call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This is Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app.
KIRO AM Seattle. KIRO FM HD2 Tacoma. Home of the Seahawks, Mariners, and everything Seattle sports. Seattle Sports Snapshot.
For Tom Pelissero, quarterback Jimmy Garoppolo is considering retirement. The 12-year NFL vet spent the past 2 seasons with the LA Rams. He didn't throw a pass in all of 2025 while backing up Matthew Stafford. He's not yet re-signed with the Rams for 2026. The Mariners are back at it today with a series against the A's. Emerson Hancock on the mound for a 6:40 p.m. first pitch, 5:30 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports.
Snapshot, brought to you by Miller Lite. When it's game time, it's Miller time.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio.
This is Bump and Stacy
on Seattle Sports.
Streaming through the Seattle Sports app and at seattlesports.com.
Now, here are your hosts, Michael Bumpus and Stacy Ross.
Here we go now. Don't forget to download the Seattle Sports app, Every Game One app, completely free, so you can take the Mariners with you on the go when you're out running errands, at Little League practice, on a hike, on the boat, wherever. The Seattle Sports app travels with you. Enjoy every pitch of Rick Rizz's final season all in one place. At no cost did we mention it's free. It's the easiest way to enjoy Seattle Mariners baseball. We are waiting for John Schneider and Mike McDonald to speak with reporters ahead of the NFL draft. And Matt will be sure to interrupt us. It'll sound like this.
Oh my God, Stacey, they're reading names. You have to listen to the names. They're reading names.
Rude. Bump and I will probably be having a very important conversation, but we want you guys to be able to listen to everything.
Well, I doubt that.
Okay, you didn't have to add anything. We could have just let that sit there. We want you guys to hear everything, though, that Mike and John have to say. So, again, they are scheduled to speak with reporters at Seahawks headquarters, Virginia Mason Athletic Center. We will send you to the podium live the second they are up there. It's their pre-draft press conference. I'm sure people very, very curious. I think someone should just open. We should get Bob to just say, like, who are you going to take? John, what's the move at 32?
And I know he's going to say, man, those things are so hard to tell, man. You don't know who's going to pick.
I think John would laugh out loud if someone asked him, who are you taking?
He's done that. Dave did that already, jokingly.
Just say, who are you taking?
Yeah.
No, like, they should ask earnestly. John, who are you taking at 32? Would you mind sharing with us?
No one knows. He don't even know.
It's actually true.
Yeah.
That's actually true. He doesn't yet know for sure who he's going to take at 32 because you can't.
Nah, it's a domino effect. In first round, you're the last domino to fall. So you got to wait and see what people do in front of you. And then as picks are being made, you're adjusting your route. You know, it's like you miss a turn using GPS, you get that reroute.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's
you don't cut across 5 lanes and suddenly decide to get off the freeway.
Well, with you,
have to take,
you don't have to do that because you're already in the far right lane.
I was going to say I've never driven that way. My move is, and I will get off at the next exit and turn around. I'm finding it a really fascinating conversation about what they do at 32. Now, I just assume that they'll trade back. I really do think they're going to trade back. But we have seen most commonly Jadarian Price, running back out of Notre Dame, mocked there. That's in part because of the need that they have at running back. Also in part because of the talent he brings. Bump, you talked about his explosiveness, feeling like a guy that could theoretically get to the NFL and rush for 1,000 yards. And because there's a pretty big drop-off after him.
That's the name. I think if there's anyone who has become the most popular kid at school, it's probably Jadarian, at least at this school, the school we call the Pacific Northwest. It's him. And even before the whole draft went down, like I knew who he was. I knew that he had talent, but the focus has always been on Love. So now when you realize Love isn't going to be there, and you knew you weren't going to have a chance at him if you're going to Super Bowl and winning and all that. But slowly but surely, the snowball effect started with Jadarian Price, and more people started talking about him. And he's getting more notoriety. I mean, I've seen him on ESPN. I've seen him on all the outlets. It happens every year, and he's the guy. Other guy is Zacharias, who just got arrested. What's his name?
Oh, God, what's his last name? I'm going to mess you up here. But yes, who was just arrested.
Yeah, other than Zacharias, it's been Jadarian Price who has been the name that kind of gained a lot of momentum and making some noise. And I think Chris Johnson is getting there as well, too.
He's getting a lot of momentum.
I've seen his name start popping up a bit more. But that's the game. That is the NFL draft, is that you throw names out there and people start to just watch more film and get invested. It's impossible to keep track on all of these players. A lot of these dudes that I mention when I do my analysis, a couple of them I never heard of them. Like, all right, well, let's check them out. Let's see. And then you look at the film, his stats, the competition. You read. I have a few scouts that I'm close with who I lean on. Like, what do you think about this guy? What do you think about that guy? You get what these teams think about him, and you start to form your own opinion about it. And sometimes it lines up with people. Sometimes it doesn't. But for Jadarian Price, I think everyone's all on the same page.
John Schneider's never made a pick at 32 overall. Last time he owned the pick 32, he traded back twice before choosing wide receiver Paul Richardson out of Colorado in 2014. However, he has made a pick at 31. Curtis, you remember who was pick number 31, 2016?
2016. Was that Jermaine Ifedi?
It was Jermaine Ifedi. The last time John Schneider made a pick in the 30s, 31, or like I said, has never picked at 32. It was an offensive lineman. Could they turn to guard Chase Basantis? He's been mocked to Seattle just about an hour ago by Chris Sims, who released his one and only mock draft.
He was mocked like 2 hours ago by Michael Bumpus.
By Michael Bumpus, also mentioned him as one of the guys that could go. He's not been a name I've seen a ton. Not that he's not a great prospect, but I think people have just been so focused on replenishing what was lost. And you didn't lose anyone on your offensive line. In fact, you brought back 13 out of 13 names. So I think people have kind of glossed over that spot and got, I don't know. But again, last time John Schneider made a pick that was at 31, which is as close as you could get to 32 without picking at 32, it was an offensive lineman.
It's so rare that big boys play every game. They're big. They're massive. There's a reason why they're required to wear those big old knee braces, and there's bodies falling in the trenches or whatnot. It's just tough. So, yeah, you bring back 13, but who knows if all 13 are going to make the team. Just because you brought them back now doesn't mean they make the team. But you got to bring in some depth, and I think Basantis could do that, if not win a starting spot.
Now, outside of Chase, who we talked about plenty today, and Price, who we've mentioned a ton, defensive back's been a really popular position for Seattle. People have looked at edge rusher as well, but I think that given the depth of that position in this class, there are some names that have popped up as like day 3 picks. There's a nice grouping of really talented guys in the back half of the first round at defensive back, depending on where someone like Colton Hood goes or Terrell or, we've seen Johnson mocked in the second, but I think people really favor a corner for Seattle as well. Again, replenishing what was lost kind of approach.
And they're out there. I mean, you got Chris Johnson, we talked about, Colton Hood out of Tennessee. You have Brandon. Is
it CeCe?
Yeah, you were talking about him in the sports bit today.
Look this up.
You got Keith Abney out of ASU, who I like as well. D'Angelo Pons, who I mentioned. The DBs, man. The DB. Funny about DBs is that there's typically a bunch of them because they're the average man. 5'8" to 5'10". They're the average guy, super athletic. That doesn't mean size-wise. It's not like you're looking for the offensive line for a 6'6", 300-pounder. Those are hard to find. I can walk down the street for an hour and not see that. But
when people complain about how there's not enough offensive tackles, you're like, oh, well, first thing you have to do.
Hey, just walk around Seattle. They ain't out there. You got to go hunting for them dudes.
Yeah.
But a DB, I can walk outside and turn to my left and find a DB.
You can train him up.
Train him up.
If he goes to the Curtis and Stacy make DBs off the streets better than Bump Camp LLC, we can get them right.
That's right.
We've often said we can make almost anyone draftable, no matter your age. We can, if you're looking to be eligible for the 2027 NFL Draft, spend the next 12 months with Curtis and I at our program.
That's right.
You will get drafted.
They teach DBs to backpedal a lot. We teach them to front pedal.
We teach the front pedal.
Side pedal.
Yeah.
All sorts of pedals.
A lot of, unfortunately, a lot of penalties thrown on our guys because of that. The front pedal, you kind of, unfortunately, you get into neutral territory with it. But the front pedal is otherwise a pretty good, if you can time it just right.
If you can time it just right.
If you can time it just right.
It's almost like running. Front pedal is like running, right?
We think of it as being a little more complicated than that, but we can understand why at your camp it's different. But no, we teach guys to, just be ball hawks.
Yeah.
Just get after it.
Let's see.
We have trash talking classes actually that we enroll all of our athletes in.
Really?
Yeah. We're big on kind of old timey trash talk. You turn over to the receiver and you go, "Sticks and stones may break my bones, but your words will never hurt me." That'll get in your head.
That'll get you going. Someone said that to me. I don't know what to do.
What's the dumbest thing a DB ever said to you?
Go.
Oh, we got to listen to, more importantly.
So, yeah, thanks for coming out. We're getting ready for our 17th draft year, which is amazing. Time flies. Mike and I want to thank everybody involved in the process, whether that's people in the kitchen, EK's group, obviously the scouts, the coaches, Dave's group, and everything that goes into it, the psychology of it, the medical group as well, and just huge thanks to everybody. We had a really cool process. We just got done with the coaches on Saturday, and more meetings this morning. So we'll have, kind of getting to feel what's going on in the league, starting a lot of calls this week with our guys upstairs, Nolan and Trent, Willie, Matt Berry, Aaron and those guys. And, the process has been awesome. Obviously, we're kind of able to tweak some things with rookie free agency because it's going to be a big deal for us. But, Dave's point earlier, just a couple minutes ago, we do have a young football team. And we had a lot of second-year players on our roster. With that, do you have any questions?
What, if anything, do you tweak about the process when you look at number of draft picks that you have compared to past years?
You mean the lack thereof? Yes. We just attacked it. I don't want to say exactly what we did, but we just did some extra meeting and feel like it's going to help us in the future because we kind of streamlined some things with the coaching staff and feel like we're just kind of out ahead a little bit better maybe than in the future or in the past. So moving towards the future, I think it's going to be an awesome part of our process. Just the time focused on free agency.
What did you learn from the 2021 draft? I mean, obviously it was a different year compared to the other 15 that you've been in Seattle. Taking at least 8 picks in every other draft except for that one.
Yeah, well, that was, that was kind of a interesting time, right? I mean, we were getting ready for, when you look at how we scouted and, using all the Zoom calls and, all the FaceTime stuff we do now, it was really, we were just confronted with that, and it's really helped. It's just really, now it's just a part of our whole process. The coaches, the scouts and the coaches do an awesome job with it. And so really the process of evaluating the guys, kind of getting to know them, spending more time with them on the Zooms has really helped.
On
This is your third draft now with Mike and this coaching staff. How have you seen, as you've gotten to know each other better and the coaching staff better, just that process of all of preparing for a draft with this coaching staff?
Yeah, they're coming around with their sense of humor. No, they're
That's true.
yeah, we're no, it's really the most fun part of the process is when we spend those days with the coaches. We have a lot of interaction throughout the whole process, so it's fun to kind of like get everybody together in that room and just go through everybody and hear everybody out and see what the vision is for the coaches for these players.
There are some teams that are choosing to not meet with as many players, and they worry it's going to bias them by meeting the person. I'm curious why you guys choose to spend as much time as you do with the players.
I mean, I just think that we totally don't know exactly who the person is, so you're trying to spend as much time as you possibly can. Even once they're in the building, we think we want to have as great of a feel for them as we possibly can, but we're still learning them and how to help them succeed and reach their true potential. So that's a lot of people do things differently, and you just have to be pliable and keep learning. Mike's here too. If you guys got any questions for Mike. Okay.
Mike, this is your third go around now in the pre-draft process. Where do you feel like you've grown the most now compared to when you were a first-year coach going through this, and the way that you guys structure your process?
Well, I just my appreciation for the amount of work that goes into. I mean, there's a lot of information being, harvested over the course of years of work. So, kind of understanding how our process is now. Probably my role in the whole process is probably clear. You kind of jump in head first this first couple of years, but now you kind of see where my role kind of fits in, and so it's just clarity, But I'll tell you what, I really appreciate the amount of work that goes into it. I mean, even our coaches, they come in at the 11th hour. I think they have a great understanding of what it takes to generate this information from our scouting department and how great they do. But adding the vision for how we would probably play each player, and there's a lot of time where they're spending individually with these guys to really just gain that extra feeling for who they are, like John's talking about. And so just really appreciate everybody's effort up to this point.
Are you more vocal in that process now?
Probably less.
Why?
Just like I said, there's my job's not to come in with a hand. My job's to work with people throughout the process. So, and we got a lot of really smart people that are really good evaluators, and so why not hear them out, and then we can kind of work what's best for us as each situation starts to unfold.
John, the changes here, I think going from, 10 minutes to 8 minutes between picks in the first round, do you see that potentially impacting team's ability to pull off trades, and does that require you to do anything differently in preparation for the first round?
No, I think that you're usually ahead anyway. You're a couple picks ahead, and so it's just that time, that extra 2 minutes is not going to make a difference in terms of trading, moving around, that sort of thing. You try to line stuff up, really. I mean, you try to do it this week, but really, people get serious. Like Thursday morning, just throughout the day, talking on the phone. You're talking about trading up and trading down, all that. Yeah. Yep.
John, historically, do you see that end of the first round pick being one that can be in play for a lot of teams because of whether it's the fifth-year option or just the last one of the day? Just in your observations over the years?
Definitely, it's the pick that everybody wants. I mean, it's like you're blessed enough to win a Super Bowl, right? And then the fifth-year option right there, and I mean, it's no secret with us guys. I mean, we have 4 picks, so we'll be looking to move back, and people are usually understanding that. I think we tend to trend backwards, trade back. We traded up for Tyler and our punter. Nick. Yeah, Nick. Yeah, so we do that. It's not like we don't do that.
All 4 times.
On the visits, either the 30s or the combines or
local day.
Or local day.
Yep.
Can you give an example of those that became decisive and you picked a guy based solely on what you learned by digging deeper in those visits?
Woo. Oh, man.
Or is that unheard of?
No, I think it's a fair question. I think like having Frank Clark in here and spending time with him and going through that whole process with him, and obviously it was somewhat controversial, and but being able to have him in, Nick Inamori last year. What's the vision? What's it going to look like? But every year there's a ton of them, so it's hard to. But the 30 visits for rookie free agency and the local day for rookie free agency as well. And there's a lot of talented players out there that are not going to get drafted. When you preach, you're talking about you're a strong 120 person like group throughout the whole year. From we'll have about 120 guys through here every year, so 120 to 90 to our 70. It's getting to know all these guys. So, I think so. Dave was saying we've had 32 unrestricted guys make our opening day roster since 2010, and we've been blessed to be able to work with staffs that are very open to. It's not where you get acquired or how you start. It's like how you buy into the program and the process, and to all the tools that we provide in this building to help you.
Mike, you guys aren't a static, process for your team or scheme or how you do things. So you get a player like Nicky Minwori last year in the draft, ends up changing kind of what you can do. What's kind of the order of operation? Do you guys come up with new things that you want that then help inform who you're looking to pick? Or do you then react to who you get and maybe change some of what you're capable of based off of that?
I think we try to be probably more of the former, where you're constantly evaluating where you are as a team, where each position group, the things that you're anticipating you're going to be able to have to do from like going into next year. Where do we need to take our scheme? How do we kind of level up to the next stage? And that's communicated through our process, and so I think our personnel folks do a great job of I think that communication right now is at a great position of what we're looking for from each position, and then there's guys that it happens all the time that you're going to get a really talented player that maybe you didn't have initially a great vision for him, and you just it can't be denied, and then that's when that's our job as coaches to move and shake and make that person's talents come to life, but. You also, there's only so many exceptions you can make, that sort of thing. So it's always moving, but I think we tend towards the former.
John,
when there's alignment with the visions, it's when everything just, comes together.
You guys don't really care about draft grades and what everyone else does out there, but I'm curious from your perspective as a GM, how do you evaluate, or what earns your respect that another GM does through the draft process?
I mean, it sounds corny, but it's basically like when you're going through a draft and the names just keep coming off, like with the specific teams where you're like, damn, and I think I've talked to you before, especially I had with Mike, that it happened with Ozzie all the time in Baltimore, and then, Eric DaCosta, and then there's several other, but Baltimore's always been, for one reason or another, has always been a team that the names start coming off and you're like, dang, like it hurts, but yeah, that's, it ends up being the Seahawks draft board and the vision for these players, not necessarily the National Football League. So there are players that are at a certain level that on the board that might be a little bit lower that we still really like, but maybe the vision's not quite as clear as people are taking higher. But you're still like, man, you respect it. Wow, that's a great pick. Like that's a 6'2" corner running 4.3 and stuff like that.
How do both of you feel about the running back situation you have right now?
Yeah, I think signing Wilson really helps us in this year's draft as well, kind of gives us some freedom. And we've talked about George. Sharp's doing great. Well,
the guys are back in today, so we got to see everybody. They're all here. like on record, I believe in our guys. And there's a process, too, that we're not going to play for another. Thankfully, we don't play for another 5 or so months, We got a lot of training to do.
How does a guy like Cartwright fitting, been around the program, you know him now a little more, how much maybe could he become a factor because of just familiarity?
Yeah, like John says, he's a second-year guy, but, I mean, to me, what a great opportunity he has, I think the great part about our team right now is you can go position by position, and you can rattle off the great competitions that we're going to have really throughout the process. It's not always that case, so I think that speaks to really the depth of our team right now, which is really exciting, and Jacardi's right there.
Like, how's Kenny McIntosh doing? Like, where's he at in his recovery?
He's coming along. It's tough to put a timetable on it, but he's training his tail off, and I think it's one of those deals where hey, let's just keep hitting those benchmarks until we can evaluate what's going to look like in the fall.
Is Kenny here?
He's not here right now, no.
Mike, you just mentioned with the competitions across the roster. John has mentioned from a lesson learned for the last Super Bowl team, wanting to make sure you're drafting guys that are not going to back down from competing against a Super Bowl team, competing with all the young stars that you've got. How do you assess that with the limited time that you have with these prospects, though, leading up to the draft, trying to make sure that you're finding the guys that check off that box?
Well, you're working with a personnel department that's been together for a long time, and they got a really clear understanding about what makes a Seahawk. So this isn't their first rodeo, and that's constantly being discussed from the meetings that I'm in. And like John said, there's clarity there, there's alignment, and whether we wanted the Super Bowl or not, it would have been the same criteria, the type of person that we're looking for to join our team. So it's pretty consistent, honestly.
Mike.
You're listening to Bump and Stacy on Seattle Sports. We'll be right back with more from John and Mike.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing we could do.
Well, all of a sudden that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Do you have a car, truck, or SUV you're willing to sell? How about an RV or commercial vehicle? Wayscar Ford in Auburn will buy it from you, and when they resell your old vehicle, they'll split the profit with you 50-50. That's right. You'll get paid twice. Mark Clymer, Wayscar Ford's GM, isn't surprised their vehicle profit-sharing program is doing so well. I mean, let's be real. It's a fantastic offer. And Mark said they've been buying a lot of cars from our listeners, which is very cool. And they're loving it. Here's why. Customers sell their vehicle for top dollar upfront, get paid before they leave the dealership. And then when Wayscar Ford resells the old vehicle, the same customer is getting 50% of the profit. There's not some secret catch here. A lot of people have cars right now sitting around that are worth a lot of money. So if you want to sell it and don't want to do that yourself, this is a perfect opportunity to get the most money you can without going through all that hassle. It's exclusively at Wayscar Ford, celebrating 104 years in Auburn. WayscarFord.com.
Spring is here, Seattle, and now is the smartest time to replace your roof. Trust your neighbors at 3 Tree Roofing, a local, family-owned company that knows how to roof in Washington weather year-round. Schedule your free estimate today at 3treeroofing.com to take advantage of spring pricing, shorter wait times, and get $500 off your new roof before the summer rush hits. Our experts come to you, build a clear plan, and give you an estimate that same day. No surprises and no high-pressure sales tactics. 3 Tree Roofing, your Puget Sound roofing experts.
We've all been there. Sleepless nights, mind racing, wondering if your business's security service is really protecting what matters. At Bay Alarm, we can put your security insecurities to bed. Video security, burglar alarms, fire alarms, access control, 24/7 monitoring, and more. Our advanced technology and personalized support ensure you can rest easy, knowing we're here for you, your people, and your business. Visit bayalarm.com to talk to a local security expert. Bay Alarm, we got you.
Upgrade your comfort and cut utility costs with Lake Washington Windows. Get 20% off energy-efficient windows and doors plus $1,000 off whole projects while taking 12 months to pay with no interest. Schedule your estimate by April 30th at lakewashingtonwindows.com.
Patrick was way behind on his IRS taxes.
I was in
way over my head. The total amount ended up being somewhere just over $30,000. $30,000.
Then the IRS came to collect.
Started getting letter after letter. A lien had been filed against me. They were going to basically hang me completely out to dry.
He had to do something.
That's when I reached out to Optima Tax Relief.
Patrick's life quickly got a lot easier.
It was very easy, pretty much hands off. They picked up the ball and ran with it.
And how'd it go?
I couldn't believe it. I had to ask 2 or 3 times. I saved an incredible amount of money.
How does Patrick feel about Optima?
Couldn't be happier. They definitely helped me. Optima Tax Relief, the best place to call. They're the best in the business.
Do what Patrick did and call Optima Tax Relief for a free consultation. Call 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460. 800-343-6460.
Optima Tax Relief.
Testimonial from an actual client. Some restrictions apply. For complete details, please visit OptimaTaxRelief.com.
You can count on the Seattle Times for local news and information on your teams and your scores. Get inside the game and go beyond the stats with game summaries, player interviews, and play-by-play analysis every day. Read our coverage at seattletimes.com/sports.
Mariners and A's tonight at T-Mobile. First pitch at 6:40, 5:30 pregame. Hear every pitch live for free on the Seattle Sports app.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Hey guys, Matt Coker here with West Coast Men's Health. If you're dealing with ED, I know what happens. You start trying the Miracle Supplement online or those pills sitting next to the energy drinks at the corner store. If there's one thing I've learned in life, cheaper is rarely better. ED and Peyronie's disease are a major problem with few real solutions. You don't need a gas station pill. You need medical-grade technology to fix your problems. At West Coast Men's Health, we use acoustic wave therapy to treat the root cause. No pills, no shots, no surgery. Real equipment, real staff, and real results. Stop wasting money on things that don't work. It's time to end the frustration and the long nights. So whether you have ED, Peyronie's disease, or low T, we can help. Call West Coast Men's Health today.
In addition to treating ED and Peyronie's disease, we now offer testosterone replacement therapy and peptide therapy. Call 206-519-6541. 206-519-6541. Online at westcoastmenshealth.com.
This hour is brought to you by Mazda of Everett.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio, you're listening to Bump Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
Let's jump right back into Mike and John's pre-draft press conference.
You mentioned off-season, or guys being back in the building, starting the off-season program today. Just how's it kind of getting that process rolling again already?
Yeah, it's great. It's great. Today's day one for us in phase one, and we talked about this earlier. We tiered our off-season program from having a later finish this season, but I was blown away by some of the guys that showed up today, and that we weren't asking to be here at this point in time, and just the energy is really great. There's still a great sense of urgency and spirit to the guys, which is exciting, but it's mostly just strength and conditioning at this point and some individual meetings, but. Yeah, this is one of the best times of year to see the guys again after the break.
Who showed up to surprise you?
I won't say surprise. It's you say, hey, look, if you finish playing the whole season, phase one, we'd love for you to be here, obviously, but to get more time out of the building so you can come back as fresh as possible. So guys like Spoon, Jay Reed were here. Guys that didn't, just wanted to be around the guys again, so I thought that was really cool. Derek Hall. Sorry.
John, what do you think about the continuity that your scouts have together? How does that impact the mayhem that takes place with free agency after the draft is completed, that Saturday night, Sunday time frame?
Yeah, great question. It never goes as smoothly as you want it to go, because it's just, guys are like, I've never been on the floor at stock. Actually, I have. What am I talking about? We did do that one time. But it's like crazy like that, right? It's just like there's guys are signing, they commit to you, and then they go to a different club, and they're everybody's negotiating different signing bonuses. But Matt Berry, and Joey Lane, those guys do a really good job of just organizing it to say, hey, like everybody knows exactly what their role is with a specific coach, and who's negotiating, who's recruiting with that coach, and and then just when I was talking about the process of it, I was talking about basically the study of it this year, like the focus of it, like what can we really bite into, like what are the redeeming qualities here with this player, and working with the coaches to have that vision for that player.
John, you've been open about how you've changed or continually revisited your draft process over the years, and maybe you pushed need up earlier, I think was an example you gave. When you look at free agency and trades as the process there as well, which of those three processes do you feel like changed the most since you became GM?
Oh, the trades on draft weekend. You have to make sure you have to call every team and make sure you're on the same page to figure out. We all just used to use the Jimmy Johnson sheet. It was actually much easier to work off of and negotiate with other teams. Now everybody has different. We've had a lot more analytics groups to it, and so it's built off of like analytics, salary cap, previous history with trades, and because at the end of the day, if you want the player, get the player. But we also we all used to be a little bit more disciplined in terms of sticking with the same point system, because you can get in situations now where you're like, why, you don't want to come off as rude, but you're like, well, why would I do that? We're getting our butt kicked. Like, we wouldn't do that. So again, unless there was a 6'5", 330-pound defensive tackle running 4.3, then maybe you would get your butt kicked and just go get him.
Considering where you're picking, my guess is there aren't as many fans that are as into this draft as maybe they were in 23 when we got that 5, 20, all those picks. But how important is it to really nail these picks, in a draft like this, to keep the success going?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think, either at the combine or maybe at the owners' meeting, just talking about, I think there's a lack of depth in this draft, and I think I thought our scouts did a great job in the fall of identifying that, and that allowed us to be a little bit more willing to give up the 4th and 5th round draft pick. But no matter what draft you're in, what year, it's our responsibility of the organization to be able to find true Seahawks all the way through it. And so that means if we did have that 4th and 5th that we're moving around and we acquire more draft picks, like, we're still going to be focused on making those guys true Seahawks. And when you say nailing it, no matter if you have, the 3 and was that 21? Was that the year we had 3 picks? Yeah. Or last year having a bunch of draft picks, it doesn't matter. You still feel that same level of pressure to be able to bring the best people you can in for the organization and for the coaching staff.
John, the perceived abnormalities in this draft, you were just talking about the lack of depth. There's some positions it seems like in years they're easier to find, but thank you. Yeah. Maybe not this year. What do you make of that? Do you think that's still like maybe the final effect of the COVID year, or is it NIL? What do you make of that? Yeah, there's a couple guys in here who's, I think this is supposed to be the last year of it, but there's still a couple guys in here that they're going to be finishing their first contract at 29 years old. So. But yeah, it's my understanding this is going to be should be like the last year of it, or trickling down pretty quick. John, when you say,
we got some guys that have been in school for 6 years, so they're called doctors.
John, when you say your board is for
your guys, not the National Football League.
Yeah.
In terms of yours, are you just saying like it's adjusted for your needs, or
combination? Yeah, it's adjusted for comparing somebody to comparing a corner to Spoon or Josh Jobe. What like at that. How they could compete with those guys? What's the fit? And then obviously need if you're doing it correctly, need just should pop in there naturally.
So more so roster makeup than need.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha. Okay.
John, when you look back to the drafts coming out of the last Super Bowl in 2013 and what you kind of went through, what did you learn about trying to maintain the drafts you made then, things you went through at the time, and how do you try to adjust that now to try to do it this time around to stay where you're at?
Yeah, well, getting to the point earlier here about finding those players that are going to come in, want to come in and compete at a high level and not be enamored by the guys they just saw playing in the Super Bowl or whether they played them on Madden like 4 years old or earlier or something like that, but also not necessarily just like just kind of like throwing darts a little bit, like, hey, like we might as well take a shot at a guy that looks like Richard Sherman or runs like Earl Thomas, or we think could be the next Cam Chancellor or something like that, So be really, really careful about comparisons. That never goes real well. I understand the entertainment of it, and I find myself doing it once in a while too. Like, oh, this guy reminds me of this player, from the past. Or I'm starting to get to the point now where these guys are looking at me like who's that? Like, Leslie and I are the only ones that know who these guys. Only Todd Bruner too. This Todd played with a leather helmet and straps. So.
We'll have more of our takeaways from this one tomorrow, including that they are very clearly looking to trade back from 32. Who's surprised by that one? Right now, get your questions in for What I Need to Know. Any question you have, top of mind, text it now. 866-979-3776. That's next.
Wyman and Bob, every afternoon at 2.
We had the John Schneider show yesterday. He's in rarefied air, I think, with the fan base. He could pretty much make any move he wants, and the fans are going to go, okay, yeah, I'm on board.
There's one. Draft at number 32, draft a kicker. there we go. I think that's the only thing he could do.
Well, all of a sudden, that guy's booting 66-yarders on the regular, and people are going, see?
Only on Seattle Sports and Seattle Sports on YouTube.
Meet Morgan Jones. Morgan is about to step into a world unknown to most, thanks to Progressive's Renters Insurance, a place of fresh linens and turn-down service. You see, Morgan temporarily vacated her apartment and has gone to a hotel because a pipe burst in her apartment. A pipe that made her sense of reality and apartment ceiling all come crashing down. Luckily, Morgan checked into Progressive's Protection Zone. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and third-party insurers.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
Everyone's been told the same story about real estate investing. Buy property, deal with tenants, manage construction headaches, and yet Legacy Group Capital, they ignore all of that. Jason Rantz here. Here's what Legacy Group Capital actually does. They lend on real estate. They acquire it, they build it, they develop it, and then they share the profits with investors. It's not complicated. There's no gimmicks. The track record, double-digit returns with zero investor losses. You get the upside of real estate without owning a single piece of it. And right now, Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund, it's offering a fixed 9% rate of return. And yeah, IRAs are accepted. While everyone else is chasing overheated trends, you're locking in a fixed return backed by real assets, managed by real experts. More than 1,300 investors have already put over $350 million to work with Legacy Group Capital. These aren't people who got lucky. They got smart. You can get smart. Call 425-635-4700 or go to legacyg.com. Don't overcomplicate things. Legacy Group Capital.
For 24 years, Sea Star Restaurant and Ron Bar has been Bellevue's and my go-to for fresh seasonal seafood. And my good friend, Chef John Howie, is behind every plate.
Hey, thanks, Brock. You know, springtime is the best time for fresh, wild Pacific Northwest salmon. At Sea Star, we go from Columbia River King, my personal favorite, to the Copper River King in May.
So whether it is a date night, whether it's a business dinner, or you're craving the very best wild salmon, go visit John Howie at Sea Star in Bellevue. Visit Sea Star in Bellevue.
On top of home and auto, Progressive protects your boat, RV, and motorcycle so you can explore the unknown.
Actually, we just take the RV to the same campground every year.
Well, maybe you can catch your own dinner on your boat.
Oh, we can actually get pizza delivered there from this brick oven place we love.
Will you at least try a new topping?
Honestly, probably not. We kind of have a go-to order.
Fine. Just bundle home or auto insurance with your outdoor vehicles with Progressive and stay protected when you go, I guess, where you've gone before. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Not available in all states or situations.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code SHOT to get $10 when you trade $10. KALSHI. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
The Puyallup RV Show returns April 30th through May 3rd. Take advantage of show-only prices. Now through April 29th, buy a ticket online, get another free. PuyallupRVShow.com.
Can you imagine a world where you leave the house and you take your home Wi-Fi speeds with you? Well, thanks to Xfinity Mobile, it's not just a fantasy. Just picture it. You're at your kid's soccer practice. You're streaming the other game in 4K just like that. Or how about in the airport? You can download a cozy family comedy in a snap with Wi-Fi Power Boost. What if the places you had to be felt more like everywhere you wanted to be? Well, that's the magic of Xfinity Mobile. Reliable Wi-Fi and 5G when you need it. Xfinity. Imagine that. Cut your mobile bill in half with 2 lines of unlimited. Visit XfinityMobile.com to learn more. Some restrictions apply. Xfinity Internet required. Savings based on promotional rate for 2 lines of Xfinity Mobile Unlimited versus regular rates for 2 lines of T-Mobile. Experience more. Verizon Unlimited Plus and AT&T Starter as of 2/10/26. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, the regular rates apply, but go check it all right now. Put it right in your fingertips with XfinityMobile.com.
It's funny how you get used to things in not so ideal condition around the house. It's Dave Wyman here, and for me, it was old windows. After 20 years in our home, virtually every window had a broken seal. We got used to cold drafts, outside noises, and condensation. And if you're in the same boat, use this spring to say goodbye to the old, dreary windows and hello to your new exclusive windows from Harley Exteriors. Right now, they're having a spring cleaning sale to complete your home makeover. If you buy 10 windows, you can choose between 20% off your entire project or get a free door. On top of that, make 0 payments and accumulate 0 interest for up to 12 months for qualified buyers. Harley Exteriors windows are a massive upgrade, manufactured right here in the Pacific Northwest and exclusive to Harley Exteriors. Call 833-HARLEY, that's HARLEY, or go to harleyexteriors.com. Schedule your free consultation today at harleyexteriors.com.
From the Quantum Fiber Studio,
this is Bumpin' Stacy.
Weekdays 10 to 2.
On Seattle Sports and 97.3 FM HD2.
I have not good Mariners news for you guys, but it is an important roster move. Brendan Donovan has been placed on the 10-day IL. This is with a left groin muscle strain. It's retroactive to 4/18. In a corresponding move, the team has selected infielder Will Wilson from AAA.
That's not how you pronounce Colt
Emerson.
You mispronounced that.
Will Wilson, not Colt Emerson.
That's a fake name.
That's his burner account, right?
That's his witness protection
I
name.
appreciate Ryan Divish's retweet with this, where he says, "Don't kill the messenger." I'm just telling you who it is. So again, Brennan Donovan placed on the 10-day IL, retroactive to 4/18. It's a left groin muscle strain. Will Wilson, infielder selected from AAA Tacoma in a corresponding move.
All right.
Get your questions in for What I Need to Know, 866-979-3776. Text now, What I Need to Know. I'm a die-hard Seattle Supersonics fan, says this listener. In fact, I kind of feel wrong for having my hate for the Thunder go down a little now that it's pretty much a sure thing the Sonics are back in 28 or 29. I should not stop hating the Thunder, shouldn't I? Help me get my sports mind right, please.
Always hate them.
Always hate, yeah.
Forever.
I think that part of what's great about sports is you can and should hate people sometimes for no reason. Now, this is a reason, but like, sometimes I'll just be like, man, I hate Boston.
Don't let up the hate for OKC.
Bump, is there ever a team where you still hang on to that hate, even though that team isn't even good anymore? It's just...
Yeah, when Boston was bad, I still hated them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's easy to hate them.
Yeah.
They're easy to hate. I say you
Giants,
hang on to that hate.
The baseball Giants. When they're bad, still hate them.
Yes. Sports hate doesn't have to make sense. I still see Astros fans go, why are Mariners fans booing Jose Altuve? The cheating scandal was like almost 10 years ago. Yeah, the answer is because sports hate doesn't have to make a ton of sense.
It never dies.
It never dies. You just deal with it.
Yep.
What I need to know. The Washington Huskies joined the Big Ten August 2024, says a listener. Since that time, the Big Ten has won 2 football championships, men's and women's basketball championships, plus championships in wrestling, hockey, and track. Do you agree that the Big Ten is the best conference in sports since the Huskies joined?
Oh, yes.
You're welcome,
all because
Big
of the
Ten.
Huskies did they
You're
win all those
welcome.
championships. Now, the Huskies did win, the men's soccer one?
Yeah, so
Cool.
put some respect on our name.
UCLA won the women's basketball championship.
Yes.
Michigan won basketball.
Michigan
Indiana.
won
all
hockey
Big Ten
too,
schools,
didn't they?
all Big Ten schools we enriched the environment.
Yo, look, I know this person doesn't represent all of Husky fans, but that text right now is the reason why people don't like you.
Take the Huskies part out of it.
It's because the Huskies joined. What do y'all got to do with the development of athletes over there in Michigan?
Best conference in college sports right now.
They're the best conference for sure. Not because of the Huskies.
But the Huskies are in it. I don't know. I see the correlation.
It's the best conference in college sports right now, and I don't think any Husky fan in their right mind actually enjoys the fact that they're in the Big Ten.
That travel's tough.
Yeah, that travel's brutal.
I'll just forever. It will never feel normal to me, I think.
And oh, by the way,
97.
like Husky games are still on at like 8 p.m.
Yeah.
at night. Like changing conferences did really nothing to the TV schedule.
To answer this listener's question, though, I think all 3 of us can agree that it's the best conference.
Yeah.
Conference supremacy.
That's not because of the Huskies.
I think so. Bump, what course and hole was your hole-in-one at? And they said, what kind of ball was it? Someone else, you got so many questions about the hole-in-one. I'm so annoyed. Someone else wanted to know what that bar tab was.
It was 4. It was a Bridgestone. And my buddies took it easy on me, honestly. They could have done a lot worse when it came to that bar tab. Let's just say it wasn't in triple digits, but it could have been a lot worse than that.
Wow.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little surprised by that.
Yeah, me too. I'm like, that's it? My last call?
Yeah, you guys sure?
All right, I'm out of here.
Everyone saw me get a hole-in-one, right? Everyone saw it. 866-979-3776. Are my longs arm enough to grab the bull by the hands?
Army what?
But Matt, do we still have Bump saying his longs are arm?
Well, they didn't say it right. Those longs are armed.
Are my longs arm enough to grab the bull by the hands?
Oh, there you go. Now I get it.
Which, first of all,
yes,
I didn't say.
You did say that.
No, I didn't say bull by the hands.
You did.
No, that's not. That's fake news, and you know that's fake news,
No,
and you're
that's
playing into
definitely
it.
you.
That's not me.
You keep lying to people
That's
saying
not
it's not
me.
you.
You're trying to get back
It
at
is
me for
you.
it. That's not me. That's Heather Salk.
And you're throwing her under the bus.
That's
Dang.
not me. Oh my
That's
God.
messed up.
I hate you so much right now. What I need to know. 866-979-3776.
Said her full name. What's her social?
I love Heather, but that clip predates me even being employed here, I think. But a lot of people think it's me. Someone said I still have a hate for the California Angels. I need a
in the
couple more
Outfield was a
questions
great movie, though.
now people are just sending in. The problem is people start sending in their own answers. 866-979-3776. Any question, text it now. Are the Mariners going to 425? Are the Mariners going to go to a 6-pitcher rotation when Miller gets back?
No.
No.
When was the last time that happened? 87?
It could be any year.
That was 64 years ago. I told Bump that I need to start. So my bit was that in the 80s, it's always like, oh, that was 58 years ago, when it wasn't. But now it's too close for comfort because people born in the 80s or 40 or in their 40s. And so now I have to make it even more exaggerated.
But with that bit, you being an 80s baby, are you aging yourself?
Yes, for sure. But I don't really claim the 80s. It feels like stolen valor.
But the 90s babies don't claim me either.
How did the 90s babies not claim me? I was not even 1 year old.
Well, Matt and we speak for the 90s babies here, and
no, because I'll tell you what.
We don't claim you because your birth.
No, I'll
year
tell you what.
starts
Because
with an
little babies that were born in 89/90, like right on the cusp there, we have no home. You know what I mean?
We have no home.
We have no home. Who wants us? Where do we belong?
Sounds like a 89 baby problem, not a 90s baby problem.
Not quick enough to come up with a comeback. 866-979-3776. 206 says Castillo needs to go. They didn't say where. Needs to go when Miller's back.
He's owed a lot of money.
Yeah. Look at that contract situation. Doesn't have a no trade clause anymore that expired after 25. But I think I'm still, I wouldn't say like optimistic. I'm not all in on like ditch Castillo, get rid of him. I want to see just a couple more starts here. They haven't been great. It's been a problem.
Yeah, Castillo, tighten up.
But I would
be all right, though.
I would hold off on. You're spending that much money on someone that you're going to get rid of? Yeah, I don't know about that. Someone else said Castillo packaged in a trade. Then they have to take on that contract. You see where this is going.
This is my favorite thing every baseball season, where it's like, how about we take our underperforming player, trade him to another team, and they give us their good
best
players.
player.
Yeah.
I love that.
That's
trade.
how trades work, right?
That's absolutely how it trades. Or how trades work. How it trades. Dang it. Let's see what I need to know. Oh my gosh, I had one for you. Someone was asking about Torrey Horton. I lost the question, but they wanted to know kind of like, could this be a breakout year for him when he's healthy?
He's got a lot of work to do. You got guys in front of you who finish the season strong. So it could be, though. You never know. Never know. Could be.
God, I was going to say thank you again to all of our guests today. Thank you again to Jason Churchill for joining us earlier. God, please, Mariners, get this done in this series. I want fun stuff to talk about tomorrow. Tonight at 6:40, Emerson Hancock on the mound. You have a 5:30 p.m. pregame show on Seattle Sports. Wyman and Bob coming your way next.
After reaching the NFL's mountaintop,
the Seahawks win Super Bowl 60.
The work continues for the Seahawks to keep the foundation strong. It's the 2026 NFL Draft. Thursday, only Seattle Sports begins its first-round draft coverage with a reigning NFL Executive of the Year.
Who are the real Seahawks?
The John Schneider Show at 4 p.m. with Brock Huard, Michael Bumpus, Steve Wyman, and host Bob Stelton live until 9 p.m. on Seattle Sports.
Hey, it's John Curley with my friend Bob Stelton. And Bob, just like me, you had a hip problem. You were recommended surgery. Why did you go see Dr. Wagner first?
I was walking around at about an 8 pain level. I couldn't walk that far before the pain would kick in, and it was impacting my workouts and just really impacting my day-to-day stuff.
So you had stem cell on your hip. How does it feel now?
I can do a lot of things I could not do prior to this procedure, and I feel like I've gotten back to being who I was prior to the injuries, which was somebody who's very active, loves being out there outside when the weather's great, being on the motorcycle, sparring in jiu-jitsu, working out. I can do all of those things now. And I've had friends that have gone to see Dr. Wagner. They had the same experience, whether they were dealing with a hip, a knee, an elbow, a shoulder. Everybody walking out of there feels like, why didn't I do this sooner?
Before you choose surgery, do what Bob and I did. Go see Dr. Mark Wagner first. drmarkwagnermd.com. drmarkwagnermd.com.
If you've gained 20, 30, or even 40 or more pounds over the past few years and nothing seems to work anymore, listen up.
I'm Dr. Coogan with Eastside Weight Loss, and our completely medication-free program has helped thousands in Washington lose 20 to 30 pounds in just 60 days. No drugs, no weekly shots, no muscle loss, no side effects, no forever monthly costs, just food, but the right type, in the right amount at the right time. All part of a detailed plan with expert coaching every step of the way that helps you reset your metabolism and burn fat. Schedule your free phone consult at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Yeah, Mike Salk here, and Dr. Coogan is right. I can attest to losing 35 pounds with Eastside Weight Loss Clinic. It works. It's safer, less expensive than alternatives, with no injections or pills, and no scary side effects. Schedule a free consult and find out for yourself.
Over 4,000 people have lost 20 to 30 pounds or more in just 60 days. Come to our clinic in Kirkland or do our program from anywhere you live with our remote options. Schedule your free phone consult online at eastsideweightlossklinik.com.
Dr. Ryan Coogan, D.C. Results may vary.
Spring is a season homeowners start improving their homes. Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. If your home needs roofing, siding, new windows, gutters, or decking, our team can take care of it all. For a limited time, save up to $3,000 on a new roof, siding, deck, or windows project. Planning multiple upgrades? Combine your projects and save even more. Or with zero down, zero payments, and zero interest up to 24 months. You can start your project now and pay later. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
Are you an HVAC professional in Western Washington? UA Local 32 offers industry-leading pay, advanced training at a state-of-the-art facility, and retirement benefits you can count on. For 135 years, they've had your back. Start building your future at ualocal32.com.
If you actually are the person that will take care of them after the fact, if you actually will be there for them, if you will pick up your phone, then they come back to you.
Lee Johnson Auto Family, the LJ way.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
The NBA playoffs are right around the corner, and now you can trade every game on Kalshi. You can also trade on who wins each series, the conference finals, and the championship. On Kalshi, you're trading against other people in a live market. No house, no odds makers. And as odds move, you can buy in or out anytime throughout the postseason. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PASS to get $10 when you trade $10. Kalshi. Kalshi. Trade on anything.
DQ presents the Blizzard Double Flip Deal. For a limited time, when you buy one Blizzard treat, you get a second for just 99 cents. That's 2 Blizzards, 2 spoons, 2 flavors, and 2 flips. So don't miss out on the Blizzard Double Flip Deal, available only for a limited time and happening now at DQ. Because the only thing better than a Blizzard treat is a second Blizzard treat for just 99 cents. It's a deal to flip for. The Blizzard Double Flip Deal. Get it in the app. Participation may vary.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore, and every Viking voyage is all-inclusive.